I'm Shane.
I'm Bo.
Welcome back.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics. I stole it from you.
Sometimes we gotta change it up. Yeah, we're back. We're here for episode 28 this week.
We're almost hitting 50, right? We're getting real close.
We're definitely over the hump. Keep it going.
We're super past that. First 25 are the hardest, right? I don't know what they always say.
Something like that, I guess. We'll go.
Well, they're
with
going
it.
to say it now because I said it.
There you go. Sounds good to me. Before we get into everything, you guys know the drill. We're going to hit our socials. We're going to try to start getting that taken care of maybe a little bit faster, just so that way we can get into the good stuff.
Yeah. Speed run. Go.
That's right. So we'll start with the meta apps. The meta apps, that's just going to be Facebook and Instagram, maybe Threads if people want if people want that.
Becomes a real thing.
But so those ones are just going to be Kentucky Fried Critics. You know, however you find things on those different platforms, it's going to be with just a straight Kentucky Fried Critics. No spaces, no anything like that, and you'll be able to find us. Obviously, Facebook, you can also just look for the words Kentucky Fried Critics.
We're the only ones.
Yeah. You'll find us for sure. Then we move on from there, and that's when we get to, YouTube. Again, we've not mentioned it a few times, but, because we were going to change it. Now we're probably not.
Yeah, no, now we like it. We found our new way.
Yeah, so it is different. We found a fun way to say it, and so that's why we're keeping it.
Yeah.
And so that one's going to be KFC.
Riddicks. And I'm still waiting for my Riddick pictures.
Yeah,
from anybody that can draw.
That's going to be the thing. Maybe we don't have the kind of fan base that's artsy.
Oh, come on. They're at least creative. Nice little doodle. Something.
You can give us something to work on.
Give us something we can feed the AI generator. Here, scan it. Here, build on this.
Or something that we can even give to someone else. Like, I know some people that may draw something up for us if we could come to them with something.
A stick figure with a highly detailed description written off to the side. I was going to say,
just give me the description. I'll go to them with it. I'll be like, this is this, man. See what you can do.
This is a Riddick. This is what we want.
The person already just went on their interpretation. Why not have a double interpretation? Let's do it too.
We'll collab a Riddick into existence.
All right. So we'll leave YouTube alone. You can find us. Yeah. That's where to find us. The next one's going to be our website. That's going to be shows.acast.com/Kentucky-fried-critics.
Yep, that's right. Doing the dance. You all know it. Wish we had cameras.
Yeah. Dude, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. That's a goal. We're going to reach it.
What they don't know is the dance is different every time. That way none of you know what the hyphen dance is until we reveal it on camera.
Yeah, and then by then you've got time to master it.
Yeah, I was like, gives me time to workshop it.
Show people.
Go take some dance classes, make it really fancy.
But yeah, so that's going to be where you can find everything. That's episodes, that's links to other places, that's links to our personal pages. Whatever you might want to find, you can find it on the website for sure. And then that leads us to our very last one, which is also on the website. But that's our email. So that way, just so we can make sure you guys know how to reach out to us on a personal level that's private.
This is our suggestion box.
Yeah. If you want to give us some ideas for things, this is most likely the best place to drop them for us. And so that's going to be KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com.
Nice and easy.
All right. That's going to wrap up all of the socials for us.
Come hang out with us.
We wanted to get those done a little bit faster. We still threw a couple of jokes in there. Before we get started, again, last week was a fun one. One that I'm still pretty sure I don't know if anybody has reached out yet and said that they had seen it.
Nope.
I have no idea. I don't think, I think I was right. I think I called it. It's something that
nobody has seen, but they should.
And hopefully now they will.
Now they will. Go watch it. It is out there. You can buy it on YouTube.
This week is another one that is also maybe not as obscure as the last one, but definitely kind of obscure.
It was new to me.
I've shown it again, much like some of these other ones. I've shown some people because they've never heard of it.
I bet if we went back and looked, most of these are from you, man. You're the trove of old movies.
When I was growing up, I didn't discriminate. You know what I mean? Like I would watch everything. Yeah. And so I've seen a lot of movies that maybe were on TV, and most people were like, "I'm not going to sit through this." I probably sat through it.
I was that way with kung fu movies for a while.
I was like
watch any of them, didn't care.
I was like that with any movie. If a movie came on,
I've not seen this. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm still kind of like that. Like I'm the kind of person who scrolls through all my streaming services for 20 hours because I'm trying to find something that I haven't seen and I want to watch something new.
Yeah, it must be hell, man.
Sometimes it's bad.
Just the nerve-wracking, just constant scrolling. Just nope, seen that. Nope,
I can't tell you the number of times that I've accidentally started something because I thought it was something new. And then you're like 10 minutes in, I'm like, oh man, I just didn't remember.
That sucks. the bad side of being a pop culture guy, guys. You start to run out of shit.
Or at least you start to get where you're at the bottom of the barrel. So the things that you might watch
Hitting
are
them,
like me.
hitting them C movies.
And again, sometimes you find some gold.
Oh,
That's how I find some things. But sometimes, or maybe a lot of the time, you don't. This one, like I was getting at, though, is maybe not as obscure. This is, but it's still something that a lot of people haven't heard of.
Which it has so many people in it, though.
It does. So we'll do it backwards from what we usually do. I'll go ahead and say the movie because again, this wasn't one of the drinks where it was it was a clue, but it was we're straight up just telling you from the movie. And so if you knew the movie,
literally dialogue from the movie.
Yeah. So if you knew the movie, you knew what it was.
Yeah,
and if
instant.
you didn't. It was it's that simple.
One of those.
Or you cheated and went to Google. But yeah, it's definitely one of those. So again, we can say the movie first. This is Toy Soldiers, and we'll go again. It's Toy Soldiers, and the drink was you want to hit them with this. This is it's mouthwash, but it's not mouthwash.
It's 4 parts 100 proof vodka, 2 parts peppermint schnapps for that mouthwash flavor, and 1 part crème de menthe to make it green.
Now you guys know. That's the recipe.
Yeah,
if you want to pause, if you want to
follow along with us,
if you didn't see the recipe when I posted it on social media, and you're hearing us and you want to make this, if you've got the ingredients, hit pause.
Yeah,
go make it.
Go make it real quick. And if you got a handy dandy mouthwash bottle, throw it in that too, just for the aesthetic.
Yeah, although we will already say maybe don't do that because the aesthetic is nice, it's funny, but it also contributes to the thought of I shouldn't be drinking this.
Your brain kind of fights you. It's sitting there like no, stop. That's bad for you.
Because I will tell you right now, we've only barely taken the sips off this. It's like mouthwash.
It tastes like mouthwash.
It's minty.
It's very minty. We're going to have very fresh breath by the end of this.
And it's very strong.
Hey, I wonder if you get past the cop with it. You go past, he's like, breathe, like, whew, minty fresh. You won't know a damn thing.
I think the extra booziness might be coming through.
Yeah, it might.
Because, it's coming through in the flavor.
100 proof. Ooh, maybe cut it down to 80.
Yeah. I wanted to stay true to what they told us.
I know.
They gave us a recipe, man. I followed the recipe.
It's their fault. Fucking Sean Astin, you asshole.
But yeah, so that was a good segue for us into who's in the movie. But Sean Astin is our hero? Anti-hero. Anti-hero? I would go anti-hero, right? Like, he's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy.
No, he has no interest in actually following the rules.
But he is the hero, which makes him the anti-hero, right? Yeah. He is Billy Tepper.
Billy Tepper?
He is a kid that's been thrown in this this is his 4th or 3rd.
Yeah, he's been expelled from 3 other
boarding schools,
and this is
boarding school.
This is his latest one.
He's been here for a little bit because again, he's got a whole group of friends.
Whole group.
The group of friends includes such big stars as Wil Wheaton.
Wil Wheaton.
All right,
that's it. We're not going to do that anymore.
We gave ourselves once.
We had to.
We had to one time.
We love you, Will.
Yes,
you are awesome.
We are huge Star Trek fans. So obviously we love everything, even the things that people sometimes give you crap for. Because again, I love Wesley Crusher.
Yeah, Wesley Crusher is great.
I don't care what anybody wants to say. So
those first 10 episodes.
We'll
save it for it. We'll have an episode all about it. I'm sure.
So yeah, Wil Wheaton plays Joey Trotta. He is
Joey Trotta. Hey.
He is New Jersey mafia royalty.
Yeah, his dad's like the king of Jersey. He runs all that shit.
Who we'll go ahead and point out is Jerry Orbach himself. Law and Order. Yeah. Don't put baby in a corner. Come on now. You guys got to know who Jerry Orbach is. He had
a lot of less gray hair back when they tried to put baby in that corner.
Well, he looked good in this.
Yeah, he did.
Was pretty slick.
Dude, he was slick. I was like, yeah, that's a fucking mob boss.
Had the nice teed up hair.
Right.
Like
goes
it was
to a point.
Yeah, it was up tall a little bit.
Coiffed.
Yeah. Woof. Our next member of Billy's group gang. They are technically trouble kids, right? So
maybe.
That's going to be played by Keith Coogan. Again, for people who don't remember.
Where have I seen him before?
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Fuck, yeah, that's right.
And also Adventures in Babysitting. And also, he was the guy who was almost Sean Astin in Encino Man.
Yeah, that's right.
In our alternate world that we could have lived in. He does always play almost like this character, too. Like, he had the inhaler, which is Adventures in Babysitting. Yeah. He totally still has the inhaler. The only thing that's different is in Adventures in Babysitting, because he wanted to stop being typecast, maybe? Because in that one, he wore, he had the long hair, and he was like the stoner metalhead kid. until the end when
Yeah.
he cut his hair. It kind of looked like
It
this
kind
again.
of looked like that guy.
So I don't know. Maybe he did get typecast. I don't know.
I don't want to look like a Republican.
But yeah, so we already have the amazingness of the fact that Sean Astin and him are here
In the
and they
same movie.
They both tried out for Encino
Encino
Man,
Man.
which came on after this. So they were here, and then they saw each other in the fucking waiting room, and we're like,
right at the audition, it's like, bro, what's up?
But on top of that, because both of them are in this movie, we have a connection to the original Addams Family TV show because Keith Coogan is related to the guy who played Uncle Fester. He's
the
his
TV
grandson.
show?
Yeah. And then Sean Astin is, of course, the stepson of
Gomez?
himself. Yeah. John Astin.
Everybody's actually related to everybody. It's just how it is.
So yeah, we have a weird Addams Family TV show family reunion.
Family reunion?
It's not even a reunion.
Addams Family reunion. That was a good movie. We should do that one.
But yeah, so then let's see. Most of the other people in their gang, we'll go ahead and mention who they are, but they're not nearly as famous.
No,
right?
but I've seen them in other stuff.
I didn't do that. You know me. I didn't do a big deep dive on a lot of these because we do have so many that I didn't have to. They're big enough I can just tell you things.
Yeah,
that are
like,
in.
hey, that guy.
But so the rest of the group is going to be Ricardo Montoya, played by George Perez. Then we got T.E. Russell playing Hank Giles.
Giles?
Gills?
Oh, no, they say it like weird 3 times. I never got a clear answer on how you say his last name.
I don't know if they were trying to hit it with like some kind of French pronunciation
accent
or something. And then we've got Donahue, who I'm not sure who played that character, but he is one of the main group guys, but he leaves immediately. Like we see him for like
a second.
5 minutes,
Right.
if that, screen time in the movie. He was the lucky one.
Yeah, he
right?
got out.
He's the one
He
that
made
got
it
to
out
leave.
before any of this happened.
Then our last one, who's not really starting part of the group, but he kind of becomes part of the group, and that's because he's a underclassman in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a Yogurt. Derek Yogurt. Whatever you want to call him. He's played by Sean Phelan. Interesting fact, the Yogurt was a nickname he got on set. First day they were all riding together in like a van somewhere for, shooting purposes. He was eating like a canister of yogurt and they hit a bump.
And it went all over him.
Threw him in the fucking window and so they just started calling him Yogurt, and they were like, "All right, add that into the movie."
For kids.
Never gonna live it down.
No,
right?
never,
I mean,
ever. It's on camera.
He sees any of these people, any of these actors,
Yogurt, what's
right?
up?
Because it's the kind of thing like even if they would have forgotten normally, now they always see the reference. Like if they watch the movie, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's right, this kid's fucking you." Like normally that might be something they forget.
No, not that.
Not now.
Forever.
Everybody's gonna know.
Because they're just like, yo, somebody was talking about that movie on the internet the other day. Yogurt. It's a great podcast I listened to. Wink, wink.
So that's all of our kids. But like I mentioned, there are plenty of other big names to drop real quick.
Yeah, there's lots of those guys. Give it up for those guys.
So we're going to start with maybe those guys that people will know.
Immediately recognize.
And so that's going to be Arlie Ermey.
Yes. Gunny. I popped, dude, when I saw it when he got off the helicopter. I was looking down writing notes. I heard his voice and I was like, it is. Yes. Playing General Kramer.
He's a general.
I have a fun fact about General Kramer. It is the most commonly used general name in Hollywood. That general name has occurred in over like 300 films.
That's great. I wonder if it's based on any kind of real reasoning.
Not one there's not a real General Kramer that I know of.
Well, again, how many unfamous generals
unfamous
are there,
generals.
Like again, like I don't mean it has to be someone that we should know about. I just mean like I wonder if there is a person that they
based that off
the
of,
first one they were like as a nod and a wink to, and then nobody realized that's what it was.
Yeah, because
300 movies later, and now people are just like that's just commonly used, but they don't know the reason. Man, maybe we have to deep dive this.
Might have to.
The next person we'll go ahead and drop, since we're mentioning the Army general, we'll mention the guy who he works with in the movie. He works with the head of the FBI. I guess FBI. He's the feds of some sort.
Yeah, I'm sure it has to be the FBI, right?
Mason Adams.
We've talked about him before.
This is our grandpa.
That's our grandpa. I'd rather die.
He's also, what did we say? Bartles and James, right? He was the
Bartles and James.
Bartles and James.
Wine coolers. Your mom drank some. You know she did.
Then from there, we're going to hit Louis Gosset Jr. Again, this isn't one of those guys. This is Louis Gosset Jr., Iron Eagle.
Right?
Amongst many other things. But again, this would be coming right off of that.
And he's really great in this one.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of like that kind of character in this one, though, right? I mean, he's like the
He's
authoritarian, but he's kind of like got a heart of gold.
Yeah, he's like kind of smiles it off when they're not looking, like those damn kids. Oh.
Right? He's good at that. He does it really well. Then we've got the last two I'm going to mention. And again, we're trying to hit all of them that we want to talk about right now. Less maybe so when we go through trying to change things up a little bit and see how this goes for our flow while we're talking. Maybe we'll go back to how it was. Who knows? We'll see.
Experiments.
We're definitely far enough in now. We can try.
Yeah, we can try something different.
At least slight variations from time to time to see how it works. So the last two we're going to mention is going to be first Andrew Divoff. And I'm mentioning him because he's a major person in the movie. He's our bad guy. He's our bad guy.
He's the villain.
He's Louis Callie. That's the bad guy's name, Louis Callie.
I had a cat named Callie, so I couldn't really take him seriously. I'm just like, oh, kitty, Callie, kitty.
Andrew Divoff is definitely one of those people who is like one of those guys. You'll see him and you may not recognize him.
I've seen him in so much shit, but it's like, how can you name one of them?
Yeah, so the two that I'm gonna say that people will know him from is Wishmaster. He's the genie. He's the djinn.
The djinn.
And if you aren't a person who knows horror movies or likes those, if you like the show Lost, he's the other that has the eye patch. Yeah. Again, I'm sure he's got a name in the show.
He's
probably Mikhail, because again, I think he was Russian.
Navy.
That is something. I was meaning like M-I-K.
I know.
Okay, just so we were clear.
Just reminded me.
I know. Yeah, that's good.
I love that movie.
The last person we'll mention, leave it off of him, we'll go to is Denholm Elliott. That's a weird name. He's
Marcus
the headmaster.
Brody.
He's the headmaster in this movie. He's Marcus Brody from the
Indiana Jones
franchise.
Yeah, all of them. They somehow CGI magic him into the new one, I think.
He's just there to talk. He's usually just he helps set up the exposition.
Yeah, he's the exposition guy, and he's got that proper British accent, and I love him.
Yeah, he's doesn't have a lot of lines in this movie, but every time he talks, I'm like, I could listen to you talk all day. Sir.
Read me a story, Grandpa.
And it's funny because that's what he does in the movie.
He's got
essentially
the book.
Reads stories to these kids.
Yep.
Now that you've heard us introduce all these people and their maybe weird characters they're playing, since we told you it's about kids at a prep school, we'll elaborate onto the plot real quick before we get into everything. So the plot line here is these kids are at a school that gets taken over by terrorists. Yeah. We'll get into the nitty gritty details in a minute, but yeah,
that's the overarching thing. These terrorists take over a prep school and hold everybody hostage.
Yep.
And these kids don't like authority and they fight back.
Damn right.
It's fine. It's fantastic. And we get to watch Sean Astin basically be a fucking action hero through this movie.
Well, and again, this is part of the reason why I wanted to do this one. If you guys remember, if you were listening for Encino Man, I specifically said this era Sean Astin doesn't get enough love.
No, it doesn't.
Encino Man, this, like we all think of like young Goonies era Sean Astin. We think of adult Sean Astin. Most people skip over this this teenager.
When he's like 16, 17 in this movie.
Sure. Either way, he's just, he's the head of a teen movie for sure. For this and Encino Man, right?
None of them are over 20.
Oh, yeah. No, this is definitely an era where, like, they were closer to the teenager they were playing. It's before we got... It's in between, right? Like, we're kind of back to kids who play them the right ages now. But, there for a while was the Dawson's Creek era.
Yeah, there weren't as many you had to pick from. Now everybody wants to be an actor.
But so yeah, this is an era where he was probably at least closer to the right age for sure when he was playing.
I'd say he wasn't any older than 17.
But yeah, so I think at that we can get into it. We don't need to beat around the bush anymore.
No, let's go.
But yeah, since again it was something that maybe a lot of you hadn't seen, we figured we'd give you the rough idea so that way you weren't struggling to figure out why we said FBI and general of the army after we said
where do they come into a movie about a boys' school? What the fuck?
So we just figured you might like that little bit of heads up. Now that being said, the movie starts with the terrorists.
Yeah,
so,
immediately.
We told you there was a terrorist, and that part. If you didn't know this was a movie that largely involved a boys' prep school, you might think you had the wrong movie. I mean,
you're thinking you're in for like a teen romp, right? No, this is R-rated.
It starts off. It starts off with
ominous music and gunfire.
Crazy music. It's super ominous. It sets you up. You're just like, what is this going on? Then gunfire, and then we see hostages in a courthouse.
Right, and they're shooting through the window at all the other cops and
stuff. There's no English being spoken.
Nope. In the bottom of the screen, it's some town in Colombia. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it.
And then we see the one white guy. who's part of this terrorist
Yeah,
group.
the one
It's
American.
Colombian terrorist, but there's one.
One.
He's this dude. He's got silver hair. He's definitely not supposed to be old.
He's somebody else. Wasn't he in Die Hard? Wasn't he like the computer guy who was trying to hack into the vault or whatever?
Give me 1 second.
I swear he was, because he's another one of those guys where it's like, man, I see you in all kinds of shit, and you're usually this guy. You're usually henchman number one.
Michael Champion. He was Jack Thorpe.
Jack
Jack
Thorpe.
Thorpe, our one American, who's part of this terrorist group. And you see him, he's the one watching TV.
Yeah.
I was like, so fitting that they had the American guy
watching TV.
I know he was serving a purpose. He was making sure what was going on.
But it's funny. It's like, yeah, the American will watch
Because he had his
TV.
feet kicked up.
Yep, just chilling.
But then we quickly get a better idea of what is going on here. So Lewis Callie has the judge sitting beside him. Apparently his dad has been imprisoned by the Americans, but at this point he was still convinced the Colombian judge was going to help him.
Still had him.
Could help him.
Yeah.
Because he said he's seen it himself that his dad had been taken. Remember he said it.
Yeah, they took him, but his plane is still here. We're watching it.
Yeah, the judge was trying to like stall is essentially what was going on
give
there.
Him time.
Yeah. But the guy, he was like, no, I saw the Americans took him off the base. I know what happened. Don't fucking lie to me.
Yeah, that and it's on the news
exactly
over here. Yeah. My homie American over here is watching.
So yeah, he already knew for sure. So then when he gets the official confirmation that his dad is now in American, American only.
Yeah, he's been offloaded on an American airbase in Utah or some shit.
He knows that. Well, we skipped a part before we move away. Again, we said there was shooting and blood. Immediately when he needed to prove a point, he proved a point.
Yeah, he did.
They shove a woman.
Just throw her out the fucking window, the poor bitch.
Yeah.
In her pretty pink dress.
It was crazy. It lets you know that they weren't, just the scene to let you know they're not messing around.
Yeah.
But so when he finds out, though, that his dad was definitely in American hands, that this Colombian judge was not going to help him.
He can't help me now.
He said, all right, we're done.
It's time to go wrap it up. Let's get out of here.
And so they take everybody on the roof.
This was smart.
Tell me for a second, did you think they were about to
throw them all off? I did. I was like, oh, he's going to just...
You were like, whoa.
I was like, he's going to throw every one of them off and then jump on that chopper and then leave.
But so he lines them all up. It was just for protection for
from
them.
Snipers.
Right? Yeah.
Human shield.
Human shield. They all of them, all of his men that were with him, good guy. He didn't leave nobody behind. They all jumped on the helicopter.
He took all his boys.
And the judge.
Because again, they're not going to shoot me out of the air if the judge is on it.
But was that really his worry? Because we see 5 seconds into taking off. What does he do?
Oh, they're out of RPG range by that point, and he kicks him out.
I guess, dude, them guys could have been on the street and shot straight up.
My logic on it. He's just like, all right, I'm safe from rocket fire. Out you go.
Yeah, so
that's a good shot too, dude. It was like
free fall was forever. I don't know where they
was that a dummy or an actual guy?
It looked like a dude. Like it was, I think, a real.
That
free
was
fall.
a hell of a stunt because there's probably another guy to catch him after they get the shot and parachute and shit. But
no, it's probably just not as high as it looks, and there's probably just one of those giant inflatable mat things.
That's also true.
If you film it right and film it with like a slower frame rate and stuff like that,
it's only like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it'll look like it's more than it is. So like really, it was probably like 5 seconds or 3 seconds worth of free fall.
Slow the footage down and shit.
So he was probably just in an area where you couldn't see anything in the background. So the helicopter,
shooting straight up.
If you have no point of reference and you just see sky, then they can tell you he's 7 miles in the air for all you know.
10,000 feet in the air.
You have with no point of reference. You have no point of reference.
Yeah, it's a really good shot though.
It is. No, it looked amazing.
They just CGI'd it now.
But now we cut away and we actually get to see our school.
Yeah, our school. What the fuck's that actually called? The Regis?
It's the Regents.
The Regents School?
Yeah, the Regents School. I forgot to mention this. I was going to say this while we were going over our character. It's almost a character, right?
Yeah, the school.
The school is definitely a very big part of this. Not just because it's the setting, but because, I mean, like, literally.
They actually, use bits of the actual school to do things.
It is very important. This is the same school from Major Payne.
Love that movie.
Well, that's a good movie, dude.
Can't wait to do that one.
Stop that.
No. I have a huge list, and we will get through all of them.
I'm not saying that we won't. You just got to stop. Again, you're telling the fans to not say it. You can't say it. This is more. This is more public facing than the Facebook page. Hopefully, that's the idea.
I didn't say we were going to do it. I'm just like, ooh, that's another one. Add that to the mental list of ones I need to do.
Yeah. So we get a good look at the school. We see part of our group. It's not our full group that we gave you the rundown of, but we see Sean Astin, we see Billy Tepper,
Yeah.
we see Joey Trotta, and Donahue. Do we ever get his first name? We don't, because he's only here for a little bit.
Tony?
I don't know.
Tony Donahue?
I don't
That
think
sounds
so.
good.
Sure.
I'm gonna call him Tony. Yo,
I have
Tony.
no idea, because he's only here for like five
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
and
right
then
now, and
one
then-
second later.
yeah.
But so we see them. They stop. Everybody else keeps going. They kind of help hide them while they
They're
sneak off to
distracting the
side.
guard. They took his little nightstick and they're playing keep away with it.
And while that's going on, Billy goes over and he spray paints. He X's out the regents.
Yep.
He writes rejects.
Yeah.
So it now says the reject school,
'Cause
because that's what
there's
they think of themselves.
Yeah,
They're the
'cause-
rejects. They're rich kids, but they're the fuck up rich kids.
Yeah, the ones
kids.
that can't stay in a school, they're always getting kicked out and shuffled around and shit. They're those guys.
Then we see him run on up. They catch up to their friends. As soon as they catch up to him, we see they're in trouble.
Yeah, there's.
Well, they think they're in trouble,
the dean wants to talk to you. He's in your dorm.
and they're like,
Like, oh shit, he's in my room.
well, and they're
even.
like, we just did this. Nobody saw
Nobody
us.
fucking saw me do that. You haven't even noticed it, Mr. Guard.
Yeah, and so when he gets up there, though, we find out first he kind of mentions that he already knows that Billy might have been sneaking off.
Yeah, off campus.
Right, throwaway, real quick. It
Yeah.
is kind of just like a foreshadowing for.
He's good at sneaking around.
Yeah. Then we see in their room we got U.S. Marshals.
Yeah, that would scare the shit out of me.
But they're not there to talk to Billy. They're not there for Joey. They're just there for Donahue.
Yep.
Turns out Donahue's dad is someone.
He was a judge during
Yeah, that's connected.
during Callie Kitty's court case.
Enrique. Just so you know,
Enrique.
the dad is Enrique.
The dad's name is Enrique.
It's
Enrique Callie Kitty.
yeah, Enrique Cali and then Louis Cali. He was a judge. And so they're like, we need to get you to safety.
Yeah, they're
We've
witness
already
protection.
moved your dad, and we need to move you because you are a
Because
target.
I'm sure your dad wouldn't move until we went and got you.
And so, pack your shit.
Pack your shit. Let's
Now,
go.
while this is going on, they told Billy and Joey they had to leave the room.
Yeah.
Did they leave the room?
No, they go like stack up on top of each other.
They make a human step. Billy turns himself
With
into a human
cleats on,
a
dude.
human step ladder, and he lets Joey climb him. And they're looking over. You know, these are the old doors. That's
yeah,
got
with the window at the top that
Yeah.
kind of pushes in
the window ventilation
little
thing.
vent thing.
And so they're listening in through that.
The dean's on to him. He's just like, those stupid sons of bitches. Opens the door.
He
You might
was
as well
like-
come in and help your boy pack.
right, because he's got to go. There's no keeping him.
Nothing we can do about this. Yep.
Like I said,
Literally next shot is the trunk is full of dude stuff, and they're like ratcheting it down and
Donahue's
shaking
gone.
his hand like, we liked having you. Sorry, you gotta go, man. And bye.
Then we see back to our terrorist group, right?
Yep.
Well, we don't even actually know what's going on. Again, so the beginning of this movie, when it was setting up like exposition for us, maybe didn't know what it was doing, right?
I think.
Like, do you feel like it was
A little
kinda,
bit.
So
There were some rewrites along the way.
I feel like they should have just done like solid the Colombian plus this sneaking across the border at one time.
Yeah.
We didn't need to.
Then we could have went to
shown
the
us
school.
Donahue and everything else, right?
Yeah.
This was a little bit much, but yeah. So after Donahue gets taken away, we now see immigration trucks,
It's like a
border
canvas
patrol.
covered truck going through the desert,
And
and
a
then the
border
border
patrol
patrol
pulls up.
pulls them over. Which they were
And-
trying to hide very well.
No, well, and this whole thing is weird. So they pull him over. It's our whole terrorist group. in
Yeah, the
back
whole
of this
group of
truck.
them.
I'll give our American guy Jack. I'll give Jack this. Every time something like this happens, he gives a warning.
And
he
tries- he does.
says leave.
He does
Turn
try.
around.
He does.
You don't want to
every
do
time.
this.
You don't want to smoke. Get out.
Nobody ever listens.
None of
He
them.
always has to shoot him, or someone in their group
Or somebody.
Has to
No,
shoot him.
he did it. Just,
I
think it was his. Yeah, I think it is him every time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Again, I can't remember, and I'm not going to be that guy that says every time. They're going to come after
Most
you.
of the time.
Yeah.
Come at me. It's most of the time.
It definitely is most. I'll say I'll cede that. They take out this border patrol guy.
poor border patrol man. I just wanted one of them to just be like, I was a day away from retirement.
Now this part though was super crazy to me. They decide after shooting him, well, we need to get rid of the evidence. So they cover the thing in gasoline. So he's covered in gasoline. So now they just need to throw a match on him.
Right.
No, what do?
They just throw a
light
brick of C4 and put it on the dashboard.
With a remote.
With a fancy detonator.
So they're wasting
and shit.
the detonator. They're wasting...
It looked cool for the movie. That's the only reason. You really logic it out. I'm like, well, it's easy to figure out what happened. You've left all kinds of evidence. These guys were shot, thrown in, burned, and then bombed.
They weren't even burned first.
Or bombed, then burned. That's right.
Yeah, but that's what I was getting at. Like, why did we need the gasoline if we were just blowing it up?
Make some more fire.
I don't even know if that's how explosions work, man. I think the flashpoint of the explosion would just flash burn it.
It's because there's already gas inside too. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was what I was getting at about why that was so silly. It was like, why do it's overkill? What are we doing?
They had to make sure it would catch on fire. They don't understand how bombs work.
I guess. But so yeah, or maybe it was I did put this as a maybe, right? I was like, maybe it was a trial run. Maybe we know later that they're using the C4. Maybe Lewis has never used it before.
Testing the remote detonator.
He's testing stuff out. But that was the closest thing to this makes sense as to why they're doing this moment.
That's much smarter. If they actually did it, that's smart.
But yeah, so then they just after that they just roll on.
Yeah, they just roll out.
So we can assume they make it across the border. And no issues.
On their way on their mission.
Now we're back to campus again. This is why I was saying we should have just done everything with them
in one
to
chunk,
get to the U.S.
And then we'll go to the school.
Because we could have just, as soon as Donahue left, went straight to this. Because this is all in response to Donahue going, right?
Yeah.
So we see they're back in the room. It's Billy. It's Joey. Billy's mad. He's pissed off. They took his friend.
Yeah, that was our boy.
He doesn't know enough about why. And it's like, yeah, dude, this is fucking security shit. They don't need to tell you more about what you heard more.
You heard more than you were supposed to.
Billy's pissed, and so he says, "Fuck this. We're rallying the troops."
Yeah, we gotta get everybody together.
And so now we get a real good introduction of our group, and he takes this ruler, right? Yep. I love this.
This was cool.
Radiator communication system. It's got the actual
pipes that go fucking
radiator
everywhere
pipes in the room, and so he takes his ruler, metal edged, right?
Yep.
You know it is.
Bing bing.
So that way his buddies can hear it. He hears them beat theirs. He's like, all right.
Yeah, we're on. Let's go.
He goes to grab Joey, and Joey goes, man, I'm working on the homework right now. And he's like, screw that. Come on. He goes, it's your homework. And I love this. Billy stops. He looks at it. He reads it. He goes, looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good. Let's go.
It's good enough.
Right?
I love that response. It was
right.
So
He's
good.
like, I'm doing your homework. He's like, you did great. Let's go. Okay.
And so then we see them. I love this. They sneak through the whole fucking school to the cafeteria.
Where there's this cellar
that
in the floor, right? It's like a trap door.
Leads to thing that not attached. You can tell by the way.
Yeah, because there's a hole in the wall that they crawl through.
So you can tell it's like leftover remnants. And later in the movie, we will save it for then, they tell us exactly what it was. But just know, it is this weird, like, it's almost like they found a cave system.
Yeah.
Go
the labyrinth under the school.
Sean Astin and the Goonies, man.
Just can't help it.
Leading the Goonies right now. So he takes them into this new place. Again, there were cobwebs and everything.
Right, dude, you bet. They were giving him shit during filming. Just be like, hey,
Mikey,
where do we go now?
Yeah, so they do though. They get in, once they finally get there, they get in and they immediately start handing out little Dixie cups, like we've got
here, keeping it real.
And he pulls out a bottle, and we get a quick passing moment where one of them says mouthwash, and he kind of doesn't really acknowledge it at first. He's just like whatever, and they keep going, and they keep going,
right.
And then they talk for a second. They have a couple jokes about like you shouldn't jack off, and
the proper etiquette at prep school is to wait till your roommate goes to bed before you start doing it.
Passing gas or jacking off, right?
it.
Both of those.
It's your chicken. You choke it if you want to.
Yeah. But so they have that nice little moment, but then they get back to the mouthwash, and he's like,
because he's pouring
it, and they're like, we're not drinking this. And he goes, no, I promise, it's not mouthwash.
Trust me.
And so they all kick it back. They kick it back like
just
a shot.
Big shot, which I will not do now, but I will sip
in honor of the moment.
Cheers, lads. Fuck.
And if theirs tasted, and again, we used their recipe.
Yeah, we used their recipe. If it tasted anything like this,
then
that was a genuine reaction.
I understand why they all immediately looked at Billy Tepper and they were like, "Fuck
this
you."
This is mouthwash.
He literally says, "Fuck you."
This is mouthwash.
And then he tells him, "No, this is
4 parts 100 proof vodka, 2 parts peppermint schnapps to give it that mouthwash flavor, and 1 part crème de menthe to make it green."
And
this way we can hide booze straight in our dorm rooms. Isn't that genius?
As soon as he says it, they're all like, and my favorite one of them though, Keith Coogan's character, Snuffy.
Snuffy.
I didn't address that earlier, and I'm sorry. I just got so excited.
They never say it. They never say his name.
I got excited because you were like, where do I know him from before I could say his name? You were just like, I know that guy. And again, I do love him in all of his things. So I was like, I'll stop and tell you. Yeah, so Snuffy. Snuffy, though, is my favorite during this moment right after they all kick back the shot and Billy is telling them what it was. Did you see him? He took his whole shot. There's nothing left but drops in his. And so while he's listening to the description, he goes, is it?
Right.
Like, again, no
Runs
words.
his finger.
No words, just facial reactions. But his facial reaction literally reads, is it?
Right. I have to double check.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. And then he follows it up by actually saying that. That's actually pretty good. Can you pour me another one?
Right. Let's have at it.
They all start drinking a little bit.
Yeah.
Then we see, as you pointed out, the one thing that you had to tell me before we even started. You were like, is he MacGyver?
Right. He looks like MacGyver. Yeah, he's got the mullet.
Billy totally has several scenes in the movie where he is just this dude who knows all kinds of shit about like
stuff,
how things work.
Right.
And so we see Billy. Billy is the guy who came up with this genius recipe that we're drinking.
Selling them for $35 a bottle to everybody else. Apparently, too.
At the time, genius, dude. I probably spent less than $35 on
buying
everything,
all of the bottles, to make
I could have made 2 or 3.
Oh, he's making bank.
Yeah, dude. He had. Well, he says 8.
He says 8. I don't believe him.
Well, no, he says 8. We know for a fact there's 9. Did you? Well, I'll go ahead and skip for this. It's worth it to say. Did you notice at the end they pour some for the headmaster?
That's why I was like, bullshit. He lied. There's more
at
than
least 1.
There's at least one more. And it was
in the basement still. It's a genius drink. Yeah. And so on top of coming up with the genius drink, Billy Tepper now knows how phones work on a very base level too. Like I'm not talking like he plugged this into the outlet.
No, he just like plugged it into some wires in the ceiling.
This is literally the type of phone you use when you work for like the phone company, right?
Yeah,
like,
where they just go in.
You just touch it
up on the pole.
You touch it to bare wire, and you can clip in and
listen in on people's conversations.
Clips in though to the dean's phone because he assumed
because they watched him leave.
They thought he was gone.
Right? He's gone for the night.
They were wrong.
Yeah.
But so then also I want to point out this is from a time when you would call a 900 number and you got to remember this when we were kids, right? Like it used to be when a 900 number like this is a sex line.
Yeah. Or talk dirty numbers.
Or even not even that or like a video game hotline number or all those type of things. Back in the day, you didn't need a credit card when you called.
No, they just charged it to
bill directly your phone company.
Yeah, just to the phone bill.
And so that's the beauty here, right? Like he was about to run up 900 sex line numbers to the dean's office.
To the dean's office? Ooh, that doesn't look good.
No.
Who's paying the phone bill at the school? I hope it's him.
Jeez, dude. That's what I was like, this is so much worse than you think because when you're watching it, you're just like, oh, that's funny.
It's funny. They were talking.
But the actual like ramifications if this wouldn't have happened. Yeah, dude.
That dude's going to lose his job.
It would have looked like
it would have looked really bad. No one's going to believe that the kids hotwired the phone from the basement.
Well, and he wouldn't even had that excuse.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have known. You know, again, like we're living in a world where say he didn't find them. But I digress. We don't really need to go into it for the sex line moment.
No, it's really funny though. They're super into it.
These guys are hornballs.
They're horny teenagers.
Well, and they're at an all boys school, which makes it worse.
So it makes it even worse. Like that's their toast. They're like to Donahue. I hope he gets laid on the outside.
The one thing that I'll give this scene though that is funny is when the woman asks what he looks like.
Oh yeah, I loved this.
He gives a description of everybody. He's like, I'm a 6 foot tall black man with blonde hair. Although I want to say, was that for Donahue?
The blonde hair? Yeah, I think so.
Because nobody in the basement. Nobody in the basement during the scene had blonde hair.
Nope.
Keith Coogan had the lightest colored hair, and it's definitely not blonde. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely not blonde. I was like,
they were including their boy. That's nice of them. Even though he wasn't there, we're gonna add you in the description, buddy. You were here in spirit.
But so while it's going on, randomly Dean Parker picks up his phone.
Yeah, because he's working late. He's even in his pajamas.
Right. And he picks
that little fucking flashing light, man.
Yeah,
that gives you away every time.
The line was busy, and he was like, "What?"
He picks it up, and she's into it. She's mid.
Yeah, and
dirty.
again, he immediately lightly puts the he doesn't want them to know.
He's
If
smart.
you would have hung it back in the day, you would have heard that. You know, you'd have heard that.
Yeah, he's super smart. I
So
liked this.
He lightly puts the phone down. He goes down to the wiring box,
wiring
so
box,
he can see,
so you
like,
can see where the wires go.
And he was like, "What is this room?"
If I was a teenage boy, this is where I would be hiding, right here in the basement. I'm gonna go check.
And he goes down there. He hears him. He gives it a minute. He hears him. He waits for the right time. He fumbles, right? He fumbles, and then they all bolt.
And they see the flashlight on the wall and shit.
And the only one still out is Billy.
Poor Billy.
Because Billy's trying to get rid of the evidence.
He's trying to get that phone unhooked from the ceiling.
Because it cost
and
him, he
shit.
told him. He said it cost him a lot of money.
It was expensive.
And he's dumping out the...
Just poured it out. Why didn't you just throw it into the fucking corner? There's so much crap in this basement. You could have just literally chucked it somewhere. He never found it.
Well, because again, like, you dump that out. If it smells like ours...
Yeah, you can still smell the alcohol in it.
Well, and you're giving away the mintiness is also like reek in the room, right? Like, I mean...
So obviously, I don't believe you came down here by yourself to drink mouthwash.
So what is it really? And he's like, I may have tried this a time or two when I was a kid.
Yeah.
This exact thing, he said. I'm like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
I have never heard of this in anything other than this movie.
No, this is genius.
This is not a commonplace thought thing to do, right? When we were in high school, you'd think it was genius when that one person was like, I'm putting vodka in a water bottle.
Yep.
This is genius. This is beyond genius, right?
Mountain
Vodka in a water bottle is stupid compared to this.
Oh. This is top tier right here. This is next level. Could have got one of the little like travel bottles of Scope, just filled it up every morning, took it to school with you, have you a couple.
And so at first though, Billy tries...
Don't do that. That's bad.
At first though, Billy tries to protect his boys.
I'm down here by myself.
He's a good dude,
He's a good dude, man. He wasn't gonna sell nobody out, but
then Snuffy, poor Snuffy and his asthma,
because he's sneezy. I guess
he's allergic. He's got asthma. The dust just getting to him.
He sneezes,
and so then all of a sudden the dean is like,
"All right, all you boys." He just names them all off.
He knows. Well, because again, they're a crew.
Yeah,
they're always together. So he knew exactly who was there. Calls them all out. Tells everybody else to go back to the
smiling and shit. Like, yeah, you caught us.
He tells everybody else to go back to their rooms. Right. I'll deal with all of you guys later, but me and Billy.
My office 9 a.m. Get out.
Me and Mr. Tepper. We got business right now.
We're gonna talk right now.
And so then he tells Billy, he's like, how many more bottles? Billy's like, 8. And he goes, how many more? And he screams it. He's like, okay, I believe you. Yeah. All right, we're going to go get him right now.
We're going to go knock on people's doors, and made him smash his fancy telephone thing.
It was so funny.
He tried to lie. He's like, oh, I got it on sale. What? Nothing.
Well, he goes, break it. And he just drops it lightly. And he goes, no, step on it. And he does. He just barely doesn't even put weight on it. He's like, boop. And then he's like, no, I mean, treat it like it's my foot.
He stomps it.
And then he goes ballistic,
right?
And you're like, yeah,
like there. If I had a baseball bat, I'd add it to that too,
right?
Fuck.
But then he makes him go to the first. We see the first room.
Just bangs on the door. He's like, this guy sold you some vodka. If you give it to me in the next 3 seconds, you won't get in trouble.
1, 2,
bing, bottle. just out the door.
And they're about to.
There you go.
And then they're just walking down the hallway, right? And he goes, "Which one's next? This one?" He didn't say.
I ain't saying
He goes,
nothing.
"This one." And something about it. Something about it. He knew. He goes, "Oh, it is.
Oh,
this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right." Knock on the. He goes, "Stop."
Right.
For the love of God, this is bad enough.
Right.
Don't
Expel
let them.
me. Just don't do this.
Yeah. Don't let these.
I don't want to look like a narc in front of all my friends.
I'll get them. And I'll bring them back. I'll deal with the consequences.
Right,
with
I'll give them their money back, whatever.
But and he goes, okay, I'll give you that courtesy. You got 10 minutes.
Yeah, and he takes off running.
He does running.
He runs and he got him.
This is a big place, dude.
It's a huge school.
If they were all over, 10 minutes might not have been that much time.
I didn't even think of that.
He might have been giving
That's
him
a video game challenge right there. Go collect all the bottles in 8 minutes.
I'll give Billy. He does it.
He's in good shape.
He makes it, throws that bottle.
Some of those bottles were half empty. Some of them boys were already having a good time.
I said the same thing, and then I was like, one of them's empty, but
that's probably the one that he dumped out. It is the one
because it's the bag. It's literally the bag he throws it in. But so the dean was like, okay, cool.
All right, we're good. Not going
I'm
to
still
going
to deal with everything with you and the rest of your boys tomorrow at 9.
Stop trying to be a tough guy. You don't impress me.
And he's like, go back to bed. And so we see him. He goes back to his room. He's pissed off.
Immediately is just like, I want revenge. That son of a bitch can't do this to me.
He's like, are you with me? And Joey's like, you fucking know I am, dude.
What am I up for tonight? Yeah. You know me.
What are we doing?
And he's like, I don't know. He's like, good. While you figure it out, I'm going to take a nap. And as soon as he goes to lay down, he's like, I got it.
He hits that thing. so hard he busts his
broke
ruler.
his stick thing. Just
Dude.
Snapped it. He's pissed.
This prank
Is genius.
it's beautiful.
It is.
Because this, like you see stuff in TV shows and movies like this, right? Like it's like before we get too far into it, it's the classic. You move everything out of a room, right? But this was so much better. They move everything from the headmaster. So no, again, not Dean. This is not Louis Gosset Jr. This is Martin Brody.
Marcus Brody.
Yeah, Marcus Brody. They move everything from his office
out into the quad.
Picture perfectly. And this is before the era. This is before the era of cell phones, right? So these people drew a diagram. This is before we know. Later on, we find out Joey Trotta did that for sure.
Yeah, because
he's the artist of the group. He definitely must have drawn
where
layout,
everything was in the room.
Because the headmaster tells us down to the teacup where
it
he
was
left
last night
at the end of the night was
everything.
in the exact same place.
I love it when the dean walks up. He just looks at me. He's like, "Try not to laugh." He's like, "I'm trying," because they're both trying not to smile.
If I had it my way, I'd just
here
leave it out here and work.
Yeah, that's not good for discipline, though.
Yeah, he's like, I know. And so then all of a sudden he turns around. He knows
exactly who did it.
He's fed up. He knows he's got to deal with it.
But
so he calls.
A good prank.
He does. It is. He calls out all of them up, just like he did in the basement.
Yep.
He calls them all out by name. He knows the boys. He's like, I don't know how you boys did it, but I know you did it.
And guess what? You get to put it all back.
Exactly where you found it.
Billy throws the banana in the trash can.
Did you see how mad Louis Gosset Jr. looked? Do you want to know why? That's all real. Sean Astin, unbeknownst to anybody, director, anyone, went to craft services before this scene was being shot to get a banana to sit in scene. Everybody was like, what's he doing? And he ate it. Nobody stopped him.
I saw him in the
director
background.
let him go. Let him eat the banana because he was like, I don't even understand what's happening, but all right. And so he had that in his head and he threw that banana. That was genuine. Louis Gosset Jr. was in character, saw that happen and was like, pick up that banana. The way he says it, the shake in his voice.
Right. That was so
banana.
Good. Yay. That makes me happy. I love shit like that, where that was like just a genuine reaction to him just basically interrupting his scene.
And dude, again, like I said, the shake in the voice.
The balls on Sean Astin to do that.
Yeah, again, nobody knew what he was doing.
That's some stones right there, man.
This is why I say nobody gives 90s
much better
Sean
actor.
Astin credit for
Go back,
for this.
Find all of his stuff. Do that thing where you just pick an actor and you just go watch all his shit. This guy, go do him.
Find again, if it's in the 90s, try it out. I promise
definitely.
you're probably gonna be surprised. 90s Sean Astin is top tier.
I'm enjoying it.
At this point, we see the dean's got to leave.
Yeah, he's going to he's got to get rid of all this booze.
He's going to deal with the booze, right? At the same time, we've seen him in the background talking about how the sheriff's pissed to him because the same day, before he spray painted rejects on the school sign, Billy spray painted rejects
on the sheriff's car.
How stupid you got to be. You got to change it up. You can't write the same thing.
Or at least change the paint. Use a different can of paint.
No, he's using this neon fucking orange.
It's the same color, man. Easily trace that back to you.
Probably got it on his hands at this point because he spray painted enough things, right?
Yep, definitely.
God damn it, Billy. For as smart as he is.
That's how they fuck up. They think they're too smart and they don't think about that little shit like that.
But so literally almost the second.
So they might have passed each other. Like they drove past each other. You know they did.
Like I'm not even joking that like it's literally like the Dean Parker waves by to the security guard. And as soon as he does, we see it's an ice cream truck. I gotta give this to the terrorists show up in a stolen ice cream truck or milk or something. It was so crazy.
Baby blue.
But so they're rolling up and we see our American guy. We see Jack.
Yeah. And once again,
can we address the fact that he's always in the same thing?
Always the same, the little vest.
Like, cargo jeans.
Right.
A tan fishing vest.
Yes, definitely.
And a checkerboard underneath shirt, right? Like it's different colors, but it's always like a checkerboard, like red and black or blue and white.
They ripped off the John Goodman's fucking wardrobe from the dude.
I don't know. It's so crazy. But yeah, so we see them roll up in this truck. He does what he does best, right?
Yeah.
The security guard's like, hey, and he goes, you just want to let us in.
Just get in the truck. We don't want to hurt anybody. And the guard reaches for his gun.
He's like, you don't want to do that.
And he fucking pops him. Bang.
He told him, dude.
He told him. He even looked up disappointed when he had to do it. Just like,
well, because he gave this guy two times to
just
back
don't reach
out.
for the gun.
Couldn't help himself.
I've got you dead to rights. My gun is already pointed at you. Don't reach for yours.
He just couldn't help himself. Poor guy.
Poor Frank.
We see they
just
come
bust in.
These terrorists come in with efficiency.
Yeah.
I feel
Within
like
seconds take over the whole school.
Well, again, we know that this was specifically the plan, right? Like at this point, it's literally just like the marshals thought. Donahue was a
the
target.
Yeah,
and they were coming here
to find him.
They knew blueprints, right?
Like the school, they had maps,
because
intel,
while we see them
dossiers.
We see them hit the campus. We hear a couple of extra gunshots from where they're just trying to maybe get the other security to stand down or something, I guess. But no one else dies yet that we know of, right? Like it's literally
everybody's in the lunchroom.
It's a security guard out front. Most of them are in the lunchroom.
That one teacher, because that one kid.
Not yet. I was gonna get to it.
Oh, okay.
During this scene, we see one more. But again, my point is just like while all of this is going on, though, they are literally immediately wiring.
Yeah, they're already getting the bombs ready. They've already put a 50 cal up in the tower.
So like I said, they knew.
Efficient.
They
planned.
knew what they were
they're doing.
But so yeah, like as you already alluded to, one other person gets shot during the takeover. Like I don't even know what to call what this was. It happened so fast.
Right.
We see one guy, and the main reason we were gonna stop for this scene no matter what is because this kid in this scene is in the background of 1,000 shots.
1,000 shots.
Because he's always in this goddamn blazer. The Blazer Kid. He's in my notes as Blazer
like
Kid.
Black and tan,
yellow.
weird.
It's orangish yellow. It's that weird 90s orangish yellow.
Yeah.
It's almost
With
like it's almost
pads.
like it's almost like the Star Trek color.
Yeah, almost. Yeah,
right. It's literally like that
yellowish tan color.
Yeah,
but he's in every group shot. There he is.
Well, and again, it's so weird because everybody else changes clothes, but he's always got this fucking blazer on
every time.
Okay, we gotta stop.
He thinks it's cool.
Back on track. But so he tries to sneak out and use the phones. He's like, I'm gonna let people know what's going on. One of the guys comes out, and again, we'll point out the only two people of this terror, and again, I don't know if terrorist is the right word, but it's what the movie uses.
Yeah, the movie calls them terrorists.
And the only two that speak English, though, is Luis and are American.
Right.
And so they're at a boarding school full of kids. Literally the guy's at the phone and the dude's screaming at him in Spanish.
Yep.
We all know he was saying, get the fuck away from the phone.
Get away from the fucking phone.
Blazer Kid was being stupid.
Right.
But
when a guy with an AK points it at you.
But my point just is maybe Luis should have brought some people
that spoke English
to work with him because it might have helped things be a little smoother.
I'm going on a mission to America. How many of you speak passing English at best?
And so
you guys are going with me then.
He failed to do that. The kid failed to leave the phones. And then a teacher comes in trying to talk the situation down, right?
He just beats his ass and shoots him.
Puts
dead
to rights
back
right
of his
there.
head. Poor guy.
Blazer Kid now knows.
Just whatever they say, just do it. Don't
go with it.
Yeah.
Don't fight it.
Read context clues. This is when the movie got all exciting.
Well, this is this is like everything changed right now.
Right.
But yeah, you've already said they set up shooting stations. They set up all this crazy shit all around.
Got rocket launchers and
head
shit.
counts.
Yeah, they're doing a head count
so
every hour on the hour.
They know how many kids there are. 92 kids, or everybody. I don't even know.
I don't know
if they counted the headmaster.
Yeah,
or not.
because he
lets the teachers, the rest of the faculty go in just a minute. Like it's like the very first thing that happens.
Keeps Marcus Brody because you have to.
Well, then he needs one person to help him with the kids, right? And why not the person with the highest authority
that they will probably listen to?
So I mean, it makes sense. He finds out though immediately. Luis takes the headmaster.
Yeah, because they're
like,
just going around looking.
He's like, "Where's Donahue?"
They got the picture. They're going up to everybody.
Billy sees that. He's like, "Why the fuck are they looking for Donahue?"
They're looking for Donahue, man.
And so we see they ask the headmaster, and he's like, "He's not fucking here."
U.S. Marshals took him yesterday. Like, you are a day late and $1 short.
Luis is pissed
because they spent a lot of money on this intel. Apparently,
what's he gonna do?
Before cell phones.
But then Jack,
he's like, "It's okay."
Jack's a good right hand man.
He's the best.
He's already got a stack of other kids that could be useful.
These kids all have super important parents too.
And so he goes down. He starts talking to the kids. Right.
Yeah.
First one he talks to, goddamn Blazer Kid.
Is he the director's son?
I don't know.
Maybe.
What's the chances though? Right. Doesn't matter. He just starts naming off a bunch of kids.
What
their
daddies
are
do.
important. Yeah. Turns out most of our group, our daddies are important.
One of them's dad is like a senator.
This is the moment where we find out that something is special about Joey's dad. We don't know why yet.
No, not yet.
Because the dude just goes,
"Your dad is this guy, right?
Alfred Trotta?
Yeah.
From New York?" He says New York. Later we find out
it's New Jersey.
Yeah. He goes, "Not proud of him."
No.
And that's the end of their
That's like the
conversation.
end of the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, and Ronaldo's dad is just like a head of some kind of Mexican.
He's a lawyer. He's the head of like a big law firm.
And he's first Mexican-born president of the
law firm and all this other stuff. And this was good.
He says, he stops and he goes, "You speak any Spanish?"
No.
I was born here. I'm
a Mexican American.
Yeah, I don't know. And he's like, okay, that's good. He turns around and he immediately tells one of his dudes, start shooting somebody.
In Spanish.
And the guy goes,
oh, wait. He's like, what?
I thought you didn't speak Spanish.
Did you just lie to me? Don't you ever fucking lie to me? And it just kneecapped him with that.
Yeah, well, he's a soccer star, dude. Like, that was...
Oh, yeah.
I
forgot about that.
That was a blow, dude. Like, that mattered, right? He could have ruined his whole life.
His whole thing up, man. Craps him right in the knee with that butt of that gun. Boom, and he goes down. But Billy comes out. Oh, don't do that. It's like, wow, what is your dad
like
do?
you said, Billy got the heat on him when he tried to be like, don't fuck with my friends.
Yeah, dude, don't kneecap him like that. Fuck.
He goes, who are you? He goes, I'm Billy Tepper. What's your dad? He's a contractor. The dude goes, what? And
he looks at his file.
Well, and again, like, it took a minute because Billy was not somebody that was flagged.
Yeah,
right? He wasn't
not, his dad's got money, but he ain't that fucking
He's not
important.
like top of the most.
Not in politics.
Not useful. Yeah, not
useful rich.
He gets to it and he starts reading. He goes, it says here your dad owns the third largest construction company in the world.
Yeah, he's a contractor.
That's what I said. Such a fucking smart
ass, right? It's like, yeah, my dad's good at his job. What do you want?
Then we see what the dean is up to. While the paramilitary group, it's literally, this is what was happening while everybody else is getting shot at and beat up.
Cuts back and forth, but
he's talking to the sheriff.
Yep, he wants.
The sheriff is mad.
He wants to know who spray painted his fucking car. I'm gonna arrest any of those kids I see out in town.
And then, like we said, Louis Gossett Jr. is doing what he does best. He's playing that strict headmaster or authority figure,
but he
with a heart of gold.
Yeah, but he actually does care.
And so as soon as the sheriff starts trying to bark and make these demands, he just goes, "Hey, can I ask you something real quick? Let's slow the conversation down.
Just 1 second here.
Doesn't your uncle own the only liquor store in town?" And he's like, "Yeah, so
my kids have all this booze.
Billy had to get this from somewhere,
so
he couldn't have gone further than town,
right? So we're gonna make a deal here, and
shut up about the car."
Right about that time, some guy comes running out, and he's just like, "Somebody got shot down at the school," and they just drop everything, and go.
This sheriff
is stupid.
They get to the school. When they show up, literally his deputy tells him, "We're being shot at.
If we try to go across the
guns, we can't do
anything."
You can clearly see from the gate that they are in the bell tower, right? In the bell tower.
Yeah, they're there.
Which means they can see, we can see it clearly from where they're at. These people, because again, like the camera,
they have a very good line
the camera
of fire.
would make it look different than like eyes would look.
Right.
You would clearly see them. They would clearly see you. And the sheriff looks at two of his other deputies and says, "Grab your shotguns, hide in my car."
Like they can't
The
watch
car
them.
was in front of the gate. The open gate where he could clearly see
just
what
gonna
was
watch
happening.
them get in the back seat. Those guys are just up there to 50. Like, are they seriously doing what I think they're doing?
And so then the sheriff starts driving slowly.
I'm unarmed and alone.
Right? I'm glad this happened. These guys opened fire on the engine block of this fucking car. Those deputies bolt before the sheriff even thought about it. They were out of the car and gone. They were like, "This dude is stupid.
He almost got us fucking killed." And then they pull the rocket launcher, blow the whole thing up. They don't kill anybody.
No, because they waited till everybody was out of it. And they're just making a point. They're showing
Stay
off.
the fuck
Well, they're
on
showing
that
off what they
side
have,
of
right?
the
They're trying to be
line.
like, guys, we're not fucking around. We got a big arsenal.
Come at me at your own peril. Dean is like, "We need to call the FBI or the army or something." And the sheriff's like, "Don't tell me how to do my job." And dude, you should have fucking listened to him. Look what happened.
He says not to do it, but then we immediately see he didn't call the feds. This is when we see our man,
our boy,
Mason Adams, Grandpa.
He shows up. Grandpa.
He definitely sounds exactly the same.
I think he's in the same glasses. The exact same glasses.
Hair's a little darker though.
They might have dyed it a little.
It's dark gray, not white. So I mean, you can tell he's younger, but not young.
No. But yeah, I swear to God, those are the exact same glasses.
I mean, they're certainly the same style of glasses, that's for sure. He lands, he tells, like, this is what we got to do. We got to do this. And the dean's like, okay,
let's do that then.
Sounds like you got this all under control. And then who else shows up?
Arlie Ermy.
And he's like,
Gunny.
Right before he shows up, we see this is the first time we get the glimpse of the number station, though. I only want to point this out because it's super strange. We never get an elaborate explanation.
why he's got
or
this
how this works. But
radio with numbers coming out of
well,
it.
it's his dad.
Yeah, it's how he's communicating with his dad in
gets
prison.
numbers to someone who can talk on the radio, and it's in like a 5x4 grid. And I guess that helps you figure out words.
They have some kind of code.
But they have a code. We see this for a split second. Then we see Arlie Ermy, and he's like, he comes up to Mason Adams. Again, these are characters I don't remember. General Kramer, we know.
General Kramer, yeah.
The other guy, the inspector something, or director.
Director, yeah, there you go.
Assistant director something. But we'll use their names. It's Mason Adams and Arlie Ermy. They start talking to each other. They're old buddies.
Yeah, they've known each other for a long time.
Look, I'm allowed to do this and this and this, and we're going to have a joint attack squad when and if we need it. But if you need anything else, the president have to give those orders.
Yep, that's got to have authorization
And
in
he goes,
Washington.
hopefully we won't have to do that. And they both start laughing.
Yep.
I was like, what is this scene?
Meaning, if we need to hit this with a nuke, we got to get the president's authority on that.
Yeah, we get the part where he's finally, like, he told them about the bombs. He told the kids, like, don't mess with
fuck
things.
with me.
You can see
I
him.
will execute you.
He adds the extra step before he goes and tells them about it again, though, right? This time he adds the armband.
Yeah,
and they
he
wire it
tapes
up so it's got a radio signal. He can push a
Just
button.
push a button, the whole building goes.
That's a garage door opener, right? Did
It
you
looks
notice
like
that?
one. That is seriously what it looks like, a freaking garage door opener.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Again, it's not duct tape.
No, it's just,
We grew up in a house with electricians. We know this. It was electrical tape. Not the best thing for skin.
Fuck no, dude.
It will fall off.
It
The
will.
oils in skin will make electrical tape.
doesn't
Electrical
hold.
tape is only good for wires.
yeah, it won't hold on like your skin.
Yeah, well,
it'll
the
hold
oiliness-
against plastic
Yeah, the oiliness will make it immediately start to come
and
off.
metal pretty well.
I'm glad that you saw that because I was like,
It's good for drumsticks.
I was like,
you know?
it's not going to work for what
No,
they
it's
wanted.
not
right
what.
here.
It's going to just slide down his arm.
Yeah.
He's going to be constantly adjusting it.
Yep.
It hurt more, but I'd use duct tape.
And we also find out right now that poor Billy's punishment
Pots and pans.
is still going on.
Yep.
He even says it himself.
The school gets taken over by terrorists, and I still got to clean up the shit.
Pots and fucking
Pots
pans.
and pans.
And
No,
it
dude,
is nasty. It was
nasty.
slop.
Ew.
I definitely know it was refried beans, right?
Yep.
You could tell. But they added some coloring that made it
and
look
they
super
just
sick.
threw milk in it or
I don't
something.
know, but it
mixed
looked
a little.
super
It was
nasty.
gross. I'm like, you're doing that wrong. You need to like.
Oh, he wasn't cleaning at all.
no,
dude.
I'm like, you need to like empty them into the trash can,
Yeah.
spray them out,
And
then wash
No,
them.
he was trying to. He was literally like full of food and then putting water into it. It
Yeah,
was like,
it's like, that's
that's
not
just
how it
a
works.
mess, dude. That's just a mess. You're just making watery food right now.
Clearly,
You're not
I've never
cleaning.
worked in a kitchen. Sean Astin, you need to try it sometime.
After this, they're like, we're starting to get to the end of the first night.
Yeah,
right?
this is where they all get
the
shoved
terrorists,
into
the
dorms.
terrorists are like, oh shit, we weren't able to accomplish what we wanted to in 5 hours. Now we got to figure out what we're doing with these 92 kids
From varying ages. Some of these kids are like 8 years old.
No, I don't know if any of them were that young. I think the youngest was supposed to be the beginning of middle school. Like it's like one
So
of
like
those.
11?
Yeah.
This is a really small 11-year-old. There's like one kid who
No,
was
I know.
tiny.
But the thing is, the further you get from 11, the more an 11-year-old looks like a 5-year-old to you. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
kind of
true,
how it
I
works.
guess.
The weirdness of this scene, though, I want to point out. So they're getting assigned to the rooms, right? I can believe that our group were able to
Kind of clump together and
in
stay
a
that
way where they, like they kind of like stepped back when they
You
could
know,
tell they weren't
shift
gonna,
around.
yeah, to make sure they got in a room together. The part I cannot believe is that Yogurt and his roommate ended up in their own room.
Yeah,
while
and we're
being
just already
shoved
chilling.
into
And we're just
rooms.
already chilling in there.
No, they were. If you
weren't
know,
they?
if you watch, they're in the group. They get shoved into the room.
I didn't see him in the group.
And so that's what I'm saying. The fact
the
that they
luck of the draw,
randomly
man.
get shoved
How
into
lucky
their
am I?
room
This just happens to be my room.
is absurd. There's no way that would happen, but it did.
Yeah, because plot. We needed Yogurt to be in this room.
Because we needed an explanation for why the person could tell him how the plane worked.
Yeah, and get our explanation on receivers and shit.
So immediately, since we jumped the gun on that. One of the first things we see in the room, like everybody's talking and shit's going
Want
on,
food,
but
you
your
got-
eye will automatically be drawn to this thing because it looks wild.
It is awesome.
It's yellow and red spiral paint on
And
it,
it's a giant
and it's a
circle.
circle, and it's got a wing down the middle of it and shit. It is
I
the
don't see how
weirdest remote control plane I have ever seen.
I don't see how it flies.
I don't either.
It defies logic how it flies.
That thing is sitting in the corner.
Yep.
We get a nice little funny joke about the porno mag.
Yeah, they find a Playboy under there.
Some things never change.
Yeah. We've all got one of these.
And then all of a sudden they're all asking questions, right? They're like, this, and Yogurt's just like, no. You
got any blankets? You got any food?
Is this your plane?
Yes. So you know how this works and all this stuff? And it's like Billy's just already
again, Billy is pulling the MacGyver again.
Already
pulling the MacGyver.
Yep.
And then while they're here, this is the beginning of we're gonna be like Red Dawn or some shit, right?
Wolverines.
Like this is when they are literally just talking and they're like,
yeah, Joey's over. He's like, we got to do something.
Well, Joey's plan at first is nuts, right?
Let's go knock one of them out and take his gun.
And then they literally all even say to him, and then what?
And then what?
There's like 10 more with 20 more guns.
Right? Like, what are you going to fucking do?
What do we do
here?
after that? And like, if we want to do this, we got to be smart about it. And that's when Billy's like, if we're going to do this, we need to try to get information to the outside
cops on the
world.
outside.
And so then we just get this. It's not even a montage because it's literally like
segments.
It's 10 minutes worth of segments,
right?
But we can wrap this up real quick, right?
Yeah, they are gathering all the intel. Who's their names, where they are. We find out again what equipment they've got.
This is when we really see that Joey is an artist. We see he's making sketches.
These sketches are spot fucking on.
They are they're volunteering to be the one taking meals
so they can check out equipment and see what kind of stuff's up in the tower.
How many? They steal the yearbook from like the library or one of their own yearbooks because it's got the picture of the school. So that way they have a definite way to lay out where people are at and what's in different places. It is
so much thought.
Genius. The amount of information they are pulling while this is going on, right?
Bravo, right? You just sit there, you're just like, man, these are some smart ass kids. The government needs to recruit Billy as soon as this is over. They're like, we might have a job for you.
Literally, my note just says these guys proving how much they can accomplish if they want to.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're just known as the reject.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
they are showing what they can do. Right,
because they all have a use here.
Everybody has a part. Everybody has a part to play.
Yep,
it's so
they even use Keith Coolidge. He's sitting there, he's smoking his smoking his cigarette as an excuse when people are walking around as a signal. He's like, well, yeah, of course the smoker's gonna cough every once in a while, right? And they finally quit giving him shit when it became useful.
Yeah,
like 3 times they just kept snatching his cigarettes and putting them out, and then finally they're like, he's probably happy about it. He's like, fuck, I get to smoke this one.
We gotta talk about this real quick. My favorite of all of them was when Billy goes up to check on the people in the bell tower.
In the bell tower?
Because he spits in the food.
Spits in the sandwich.
And he's just like, bon appetit.
You enjoy, guys.
He makes the face as he's walking away like, I love it. It's so 90s. Again, it just sets up the smart ass that Billy is. He gets so many great one-liners and moments like this where you're just like, God, he's such a smart ass. While this is going on, though, we do have one cutaway
to the outside.
Everything. Like we said, it's 10 minutes worth of them gathering intel. But during the middle of the 10 minutes, there's 1:30-second, 1.5 minute. I don't know. It's not very long. Yeah. It's a conference of the parents, not a press conference. It's just the parents.
The first guy that speaks has the dumbest idea of anybody in this entire movie. He is just like, just go in there with your guns and shoot them.
Dude, even Mason Adams says, sir, that's not an option.
No.
Well, he hits them after that is said. He's like, need you guys forget we are treating these guys as terrorists, and the American stance is we do not negotiate with terrorists.
Those famous words.
Stupid, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you hear it and you're like...
You hear it. You can't hear it without that voice.
Oh, my God. And the mom, like, the one dude's like, well, I've got friends in the White House.
That one lady's like...
The one lady goes...
My kid's on a scholarship. I don't have any influence here.
Yeah.
Like, what do you...
I don't know anybody in the White House.
Right?
And
what are we gonna do here?
The other dad, mine too.
Me too.
It was so good. But then while it's going on, Mason Adams leans over to Dean Parker and he goes, are you aware that the head of the New Jersey Mafia is sitting in this room?
Yep. And you let his son go to your school?
He goes, yeah. It's not his fault who his dad is.
Ooh.
Oh. Again, setting up for you, Dean Parker loves these kids.
Yep.
He's hard on them because he loves them. He wants to make sure they're good. He's
do
trying
good
to get by them.
things. Learn good lessons. Be manly men.
That was just to set up for us exactly who Joey's dad was. That's the first time we actually hear
who his dad is. They alluded to it earlier.
Yeah, and the influence that he has. But then we cut back to now it's time to try to get them.
Yeah, get the intel out.
They have no idea where they're going to go, but they know they have a small window to do it.
Yep.
They get counted on the hour every hour.
Perfectly timed this
so
whole
he comes
thing.
up with a plan.
Yep.
This plan is so fucking elaborate. He puts all of the paperwork in the yearbook.
In a book, tucks it in his pants.
They had ripped out everything from the yearbook, right? They gutted it except for the picture.
Yep.
So that way they could put the rest of it in there and it still just
made
looked like a yearbook.
little makeshift folder thing is awesome.
Shoved it in the back of his pants so that way he'd be able to
cinched his belt real tight so it wouldn't go anywhere.
And then they were like, okay, everybody's got their spot, everybody's got their thing to do. Fucking Yogurt takes out his plane.
Yep, takes it outside.
Soccer star goes out
with his
got
soccer ball.
Everybody else is standing by so that way they can match up. Billy goes to a window. He's got to break it because it's the only way they can get out, right?
He's got his
gets
all
his
wrapped
soccer,
up in a towel.
Gets the soccer guy. They all time it out.
Yep.
He kicks
it perfectly timed.
They break the window at the exact same time. Nobody even notices. Guards fucking. He's yelling at the soccer dude.
People for breaking the window. Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. Now you've lost your ball.
Billy's running.
He's already on the move.
And then we're like, well, what if that was that? What the hell's the plane for? Now we see it.
It's gonna
because the guards are up
on the roof,
and so we need a distraction.
We need them to look away.
And so Billy's waiting. Look at the time.
Right.
As soon as it's right, dude flies the plane up. Guards are watching it.
Hey, look, neat.
Billy runs.
The whole school, even the bad guy in his office, he's drinking tea. Like, what the hell? Goes and looks out the window. Oh, neat.
Billy runs for it. Makes it off campus.
Yep. Goes through the sewer grate thing.
Bolt cut. He had bolt cutters with him so that way he could cut because it was locked. As soon as he gets to the other side,
snipers. They just jump out of nowhere.
Rangers, dude.
These guys they were in ghillie suit.
Yeah,
they got all this shit, dude.
Grab him. He's like, good. Take this. Let me leave. And they're like, no, we gotta keep you. I have such a problem with this. There's no way when what is obviously a teenager, again, Sean Astin looks the part. What is obviously a teenager from the school shows up to you, says this is all the evidence you need. He clearly is not Colombian.
Right.
You know, there's a reason we didn't send Ronaldo, and it's not to be racist. It's because he might have been thought to be one of the guys.
He might have accidentally got shot.
Billy is clearly not part of this group.
Yep.
And so that kid then looks at you and says, if you don't let me get back, they're going to shoot five people. And then 5 people every 5 minutes
time limit here.
After that.
Yeah, you need to let me get back now. Nope, they're going to take him to the tent and make him sit there and argue.
And then they have to bring him. They fly him by helicopter.
The dean, they have to fly him in. They literally call the general and he's like, you got this student? And then they fly him out. This whole thing had to have taken almost 40 minutes on its own just to get him on the chopper and flown over.
Yeah. I have no idea why you would do that.
And it takes 5 seconds. As soon as he walks up, he's like, they're going to kill people. He's like, oh, okay, go.
And the dude's like, I can't authorize that. And he goes, oh, okay. And Billy ducks.
He just ducks, jumps in the Jeep and steals it. You know, the whole time he was sitting there, he's just like, if I can get in that Jeep, I can make it.
Love this because Billy is so much smarter than
the
everybody.
Military.
He takes this Jeep, he runs, he drives it up the hill that's in the woods so that way they wouldn't see it, jumps out,
throws it neutral so it rolls back,
takes out one of the vehicles. The other guy has to pull off
on the side of the road.
Can't see where he goes. Billy hides in the woods.
Yep.
They go, and then he's back in the tunnel.
Yep, back in the tunnel, but he falls.
He falls. While this is going on, he's already too late.
Yeah, he's out of time. They're all in there, and he's counting.
Snuffy already does his part, which I love this. This is where I learned this trick from. And again, it was probably in fucking MacGyver. I probably saw it later from somewhere else. The cigarette and the matchbook as a timer. Yeah. This is genius.
It is.
And so that's he goes up. He's the one that's giving the bell tower their
coffee
food.
or something.
So he lights a cigarette.
I thought it was just because he was scared because they pointed their guns at him when he brought him up and shit. And I was like, oh no, he's got a plan. Nice.
He lights a cigarette and then he takes 2 draws and he puts it into the matchbook so that way it'll slowly burn and then light the matches, set off the smoke alarm. This has already been set into motion. Smoke alarm goes off before Billy makes it back.
Yeah. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
They're about to shoot somebody.
They call everybody back in. Yeah.
What are we gonna do here?
They're trying to cheat Ronaldo. Ronaldo snuck.
Why in a room full of white people? Why would you use the black kid to try and trick him into thinking they got counted twice?
It was both Giles and Ronaldo. They did both of the 2 people that were going to be the easiest to pick. I don't know, but that's what they did. Didn't work.
I mean, good try. At least you tried.
Jack literally goes, "I'm not stupid."
Right? I'm not stupid. I already counted you. Just throws him back.
They pull out the 5. That's how close it gets. They literally have the 5 lined up on the wall.
The kid I was talking about, I thought was 8. He's the one of the kids they pull out here. I was like, he's so small.
They have them lined up on the wall. Headmaster's one of them.
Poor
then
Marcus Brody.
Ronaldo, I think.
Yeah, it was one of our group too, I think, yeah.
They're about to do it. This I love. Billy is so fucking quick on his toes,
right?
Dude. He fell in the water. He makes it inside. Not only does he come up with an excuse about why he's late,
wet?
he has an excuse. Well, no, first,
He's late.
First, why he's late, because that's the most important.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's going to get people killed. But he has an excuse for why he's wet and late. Fucking gene, dude, like, I mean.
On the fly, too.
Yeah, while running in a panic mode, he
trying
comes
not
up
to
with
get
it.
shot.
So he's like, I was in the shower. I didn't hear the bell ringing.
Yep. And they're even like, he is wet. Look at him.
We think it's master.
Right.
We think he made it. No consequences.
Nobody gets shot.
Nobody gets shot, but there are goddamn consequences. Luis takes him into the headmaster's room, and it seems fun at first. Not fun, but it doesn't seem like he's going to punish him. At first,
you're like me. You're one of those anti-authority people.
Yeah, he's like, I think we.
I went to a school just like this.
He seems like he's about to throw out one of those, like, we could get along, right?
Yeah, we're not so different,
But then he immediately says, you don't know discipline.
It starts
fucking slams him against the desk, grabs the metal pointer.
The telescopic
before we
pointer.
had laser pointers, we used these metal.
Oh, yeah.
It is literally, for anybody who doesn't understand what we mean, just think in your head, car radio antenna.
But telescopic.
Yeah, well, again, like when they used to do,
collapses in on itself.
He just
whips the shit out of him.
I mean, bleed. He opens skin.
Yeah,
it's bad.
And a nice added thing to the rest of the movie continuity. You pay attention to the back
of
his
the shirts are always covered in
bloody
blood
from the rest of this point.
Dude, it's rough. It was intense. Again, this movie it's a fun romp, but there are some moments where you're like,
there's
damn,
some unexpected blood and stuff that you're just like, oh, I wasn't ready for that.
Holy shit,
that was more gory than I thought this movie deserved. Shit.
Now, before we move away from everything here, I just want to say, how many times do you think they frantically counted kids? When he hits 91, he says, count them again.
And he's just I really don't want to shoot a kid today.
Right? Like, how many times do you think they had already counted?
I'm going to say 4.
Right? Like, you know it was a whole bunch because the dude was like, damn, I didn't want someone to call my bluff.
Right? Like somebody was actually dumb enough. Fuck.
Man, I didn't want to do this.
Are you absolutely sure?
Right? Exactly. Count one more time, please.
One more time. I don't want to kill. Well, I don't want to have to watch you shoot a kid.
Please, just one more time, please. Now's the point, though. After that, we see Mason Adams and Arlie Ermy and the dean. They're all talking to each other.
Yeah, they got a plan. They have a plan for the assault and all
Arlie
this shit.
Ermy's like, so what about this place, this room that he was talking about? Does this exist? You think this is? I mean, that's real? And he's like, oh, I know it's real.
Yeah,
I've
was
seen
built in like the 1800s.
He goes, I've seen it.
Yeah, I was there earlier today.
And as soon as he says he's seen it, he's like, that's great. He goes, so that means if we were to move them all there and the bombs went off, they'd probably survive before anybody can really react. But you see their face. No one gets to vocally say it, but you see their reactions. Everybody is like, did he just say probably survive? And he just keeps going like it's not a big deal.
Gunny's got a plan.
Right? Like, and he doesn't care. He
has an assault. He wants to do, I will take these sons of bitches out.
Because even the dean starts to say something, but before he can, he's just like, but we still need to do this and this. And you're just like, can we focus on the probably, please?
Right. I want the probably.
Can we avoid probably when we're talking about exploding things above kids?
They're going to be like, the whole building is going to come on top of them. I don't care how well built this basement is. But then Mason Adams comes up and he's just like, it's over. They're going to negotiate whatever they want. And Arlie Ermy is so disappointed. He's just like, but I got this whole thing planned.
Well, right. Well, and the reason this is happening, we kind of glossed over it because it was so short. The mob boss, he told his buddy
to get in touch with the guy in jail.
Not even him, but everybody involved. He's like, talk to our people that know him because he's done deals with lots of people.
My son.
We want to get him out, and so we can assume that the reason they're about to be making the call is we don't see the outside factors of the mafia. Has pulled strings on the government, right? Like that's what we can assume.
Yeah, that was what I thought.
That's
somebody's on the payroll moving
and
shit,
making it happen, right? And so they're like, all right, we're going to make the deal. We don't need to do the assault. We don't need to worry about any of that.
Somebody tell Gunny to stand down.
Right. And so then we see the prison and we see the lawyer tells the dad, he's like, hey, so like, that's why we know the first time it was the mafia connections the first time. And now we're seeing what he can do, right?
Yeah, he's
so
going to get word
he goes, look, Trotta wants his son out of there.
He's a good dude to have on your side. He might owe us a favor. This is good for us. And he gets out and starts writing the numbers.
He writes the numbers. He goes, send this to my son. We see the son gets the message.
Do you notice in the FBI they catch the signals coming in?
I love that.
It's
my
Intel.
Note. It's handwritten.
In case we didn't know, it just says Intel above that chick's station.
Oh my god, I do. It's literally in my notes right here, dude. It's all marker, sharpied out.
Sharpied in.
I was like, we couldn't print something on a piece of paper.
Make it look a little more official.
Like, I don't even care if it's dot matrix paper. Like, give me some paper. No.
That made me laugh.
This immediately, though, just leads into next day.
They're all looking at Billy's back and stuff.
They're like, damn, that's rough.
They whipped the shit out of you, dude.
God damn. And then they walk up to him and they're like,
Joey, the dude wants to see you.
And Joey's like, what?
What the fuck?
I don't want to fucking go talk to him.
And Brody's like, I don't think they're going to hurt you, and I'm going to go with you. It's going to be fine. Okay, but then they go, and dude behind the desk is like happy. He's like, good news.
I want you to go.
I'm letting you go.
And dude's like, I don't want to go.
Well,
he's like, your dad called in favor. And he's like, again, it's like, dude, you know from the scene earlier that you should not have fucking spoke his dad's name.
Right.
You already knew that would make him fight you on it. And the kid does. And Luis almost even gets joy out of the fact the kid is fighting him about it, right? You're setting up your own demise.
And you don't even fucking realize it.
Right? And so he has his man literally was going to physically drag Joey out of the school.
Yeah, after he said, he's like, fuck my dad and fuck you too. I'm not leaving. They're like, oh yeah, you are. And they're just dragging his ass down the hallway.
Joey gets out in the hallway.
All right, I'm good. I'm cool.
Joey decides,
I'm cool, right?
Joey decides he's going to pull exactly what he told us in the beginning.
Yeah, he had a plan from day one.
Get a gun.
Yeah, but always a good idea.
But then I want to point out, as soon as
what do you do with it afterwards?
As soon as Joey gets a gun, he proves all of his buddies right.
Yep. You don't know how to use that gun.
No, because he runs outside.
Foot just stands in front, no cover, nothing.
He's about to start. He shoots at one guy, does not hit him,
misses completely, and then immediately loses control of the muzzle, and then immediately
gets shot and killed.
And that's the end of poor Wil Wheaton.
Like, I want to say more about it, but there's just not.
No, it's not. It's really dumb and sad.
It's dumb. Happens so quick that your brain barely processes it. You're just like, what?
Poor Billy. Henry's holding him back.
Yeah. Oh,
and covering his mouth too. Like, dude, don't even scream. They might shoot you for screaming.
But the moment the gunshots go off outside, you can literally see Luis's face. He's like, oh shit. And then he goes outside and he sees it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh fuck. I'm so shocked he didn't kill his man.
Yeah, I would have shot my dude. I'd have been like, you have any idea how much fucking weird trouble we are in? Do you not know who this kid is?
That's the face, dude. The face on, he knows.
I am dead.
He's like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Right after they told me to let him go, he's dead. That looks so bad.
We see Louis Gosset Jr. come in
to get the body and shit.
Why do I keep doing that? Dean Parker. Sorry, Dean Parker comes in to get Joey. Well, and again, now
he doesn't know yet.
Dean doesn't know it's Joey. They just know it's a kid, right? Like, and so Dean's just coming in. He knows a kid got killed.
Yep.
Dean Parker gets to the door. He's doing just like he did the first time, right?
Right.
He's like,
I got no weapons.
You know me from the first time.
It's just me.
You know me from the first time. I didn't trick you the first time. I'm not going to trick you this time. I'm just here to get the body. We've talked
before. Yeah. We're cool.
I'm here to get the body. And so he brings the body out, and he's still talking to him. And right now,
bad guy's like, you have to understand.
Well, right now the Dean is.
Sure.
Well, no, not even yet. No, that's not until he undoes
the veil.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. He says you got to make sure. And at first, he's still kind of humoring him. He's like, okay,
I'll make sure.
Sure. And then he pulls it down, and then even just like we did just like Luis's face, you see it on the Dean's face where he's like, oh fuck.
And even tells him, he's like, they're going to hunt you down.
Well, no, this is beautiful. He tells him, as soon as he sees who it is, the dude's still like, look, it was an accident. Never should have happened. I promise.
He fought one of my boys and we had to shoot him.
And literally, the Dean looks at him and he says, they're going to hunt you down. They're going to find you wherever you go.
Yep.
They're going to kill you. And Luis, like the moron he is, responds as if the Dean was talking about the military or the American government.
Right.
And he was not.
Nope.
He was talking about goddamn Joey Trotta's dad.
Yep.
He was talking about Alfred Trotta and the rest of the fucking New Jersey Mafia, and they're going to show up and kill this man.
We're going to show you what an accident is, motherfucker.
Yeah. You want an accident?
We'll give you a motherfucking accident.
And then that's exactly what we see next, right?
Yep. Goes to the prison.
Well,
he goes to the dad.
We see the dad. We see the same dude he tried to help. He set the help up with. with
so
first, and he
sorry.
goes, "Fuck him. Accidents don't happen.
Right.
Not to a kid against a man with a machine gun."
Right? It's a good shot too, because it's like just his shadow on the wall and
He
shit.
says-
and then he stands up and he's like, "We'll
says-
show him what a real accident is," and then pans over to his face. You make the call, and then
we see the
over
prison.
the prison
And
riot
it's
going on.
a riot, and they're trying to get the dad,
Trying to get him out.
Enrique Callie back to the fucking cell, and he gets the cell. Problem is,
Somebody already.
there's already another man hiding in his cell, so he steps out, slices his throat. Not
throws
a
him.
word, dude. That's how cold-blooded it
Yep.
was. Slices, pushes him.
Just throws him over the thing.
It's almost like a retake on the woman.
Ah, yeah, it is from the beginning.
He lands the
almost
same
exactly
kind of way.
the same way. That's true.
Beautiful shot.
It was. That
Loved
was
it.
really good. I didn't catch that.
And now we're ramping up, dude. Like, I mean, the movie is basically done because at this point we see Mason Adams is barking orders. At
Yeah, it's like they've killed the kid.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know that. He's just barking orders to start the assault, and literally, it's so funny because Dean Parker walks up with a cup of coffee, like he literally just like rolled out of bed, right? Like
what's going on?
What's up?
Where's the donuts? What's
And
going on, guys?
Mason's like, "Oh, it's going down. Was
Yep.
your boy right?"
Yep. Does he know? Can he do the thing that he said he
If
can
we
do?
tell him right now, is he gonna?
Can they switch the receiver in the detonator bullshit?
He's like, "I
with
guess
the
so."
remote
What
control?
again? What is happening?
One dude found out about his kid,
And-
now one dude in jail is dead. And as
So-
soon as that guy finds out, they're gonna blow the whole
as
school.
soon as Luis finds out his dad is dead, it's
over. He's gonna
So,
push the
well,
button, and everybody's gonna.
We gotta
die.
stop it.
So we gotta go now.
He's like, "Well, if Billy said he can do it."
I trust him. I don't trust him to get to class on time, but he's a natural born leader and charismatic and intelligent. He's got this.
He doesn't believe that about Billy.
No, he doesn't.
Earlier, he literally says like the exact opposite
I know.
about Billy. It's so fucked up.
He gives him points on the phone thing.
He's
like, "That's
literally
pretty
when the
genius."
school first got taken over, he was like,
Yeah.
"I think Billy's gonna get everybody killed." Like that's literally almost what he said, right?
Yep.
And now he's like, "I think Billy can save
Yep,
everybody."
he can do it. I put my faith in Billy.
Well, then he wants to go, and they're like, "Dude, you can't
No,
fucking
you
come
can't
with us."
fucking go. Just tell us how to get through the pipe and up into the thing.
But then before we get the actual full-on assault, right?
Yep.
They got to make sure they can do it. Billy's still upset.
Yeah, because they're looking through the notebook and they're all
He's
sad.
remembering Joey.
Joey's off crying in the corner, but they're signaling with the lamp through the window.
He gets so mad.
Yeah,
But
'cause-
Billy's like,
'cause
"Fuck
Hank-
you! I said no."
Because Hank jumps up and signals back. He's just like, "You fucking asshole."
He's like, "Look, you
I'm
convinced
gonna
us."
get everybody killed. I'm
He's
a
like,
fuck up.
He's like, "Shut the fuck up! You convinced all of us, and now you got to fucking stick to it."
"Oh, if you tell me that we have to do it for Joey, I'm gonna fucking puke." He just looks at him and goes like, "I don't have to tell you why you need to do it."
And he
I
was
was
just
like, "Oh."
That was like the way to say it's for Joey without saying it out
It's
loud.
like,
And it was like,
"Motherfucker, I shouldn't
damn,
have to."
dude, right? And he did. He
Yep.
backed out. He was like, "You're right.
You're right. Let's
We're
go.
gonna do it.
Well, we're gonna do the plan.
If we're gonna do it, let's fucking do it." And so now we get dude. When
This
this
is a crazy
starts,
plan.
when this starts, it is full on fucking assault mode.
Yep.
They cut the power.
Right? Power, everything.
Phone works because he's able
They're
to
jamming the radios.
Yeah. Damn, dude. And so like it's all going
Bad
down.
guy wakes up and he's like, "The light and TV don't work." Wait, calls
Yeah,
him and
he's
stuff. And
immediately
they're
like,
like, "Oh,
"Oh."
there's a power outage and shit. It's fine. Don't worry about it."
And he's immediately like, "I don't."
You have an hour to turn it the fuck
Yeah.
back on. I would have immediately been just like, "No, fuck you."
And then we see all the kids are in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Because again, you would panic when something like this would happen. So you would be like, "I need everybody to
Yep,
be where I can
everybody,
see them." Right.
get them where they're supposed to be. Guards on either end.
I want to say this campus is amazingly well lit for no power.
Right? It's awful bright in this stone building.
I was like, "Damn, dude, it looks bright as fuck for no power."
Maybe there's like skylights.
I don't know. I hope so. But yeah, while this is going on, we see the first part of the plan, right? It's that Billy needs to get to the office.
Yep, he just got to get to the headmaster's office.
This was the dumbest part of the plan. He takes Yogurt with him. That's fine.
Yeah.
They take Yogurt's roommate with him. I don't even know this kid's fucking name.
No.
We see him. He's
Yeah.
there a bunch. I don't know his name.
Mini
They
Yogurt.
tell him,
Leave the water running.
leave
Turn
the
it off.
water running. Turn it off if there's a problem.
Yep, in the
How does this
faucet in
not
the
seem
bathroom.
stupid?
It's really stupid because people wash their fucking hands.
Someone's gonna.
Yeah.
Someone else might come in the
Even
back.
like, oh, somebody's
There's
in here. I
1,000
turn it
reasons
off. They're
that-
going to turn the water back on at some point.
Oh my god! I'm glad that you were like.
I was like, that's a huge flaw in your plan.
I understand that there was no good way, but that was definitely not it.
Maybe go in the stall and if you hear somebody, I don't know.
That's what I would say.
Flush.
Listen. Maybe on the way back they didn't do the dumb "we're facing each other" crawl
Yeah,
and just
bullshit.
crawl towards the hole so you could put your head out and look.
Yeah.
God damn.
Or
I don't
crawl
know.
past the hole.
So many options.
Something. There was a
but
lot of
this
things you
wasn't
could
it.
have done.
This was the water trick wasn't it. Either way, Yogurt and Billy, they make it to the the headmaster's office.
Headmaster's office.
It's so weird because we have a dean and a headmaster.
That's weird, isn't it? I thought it was like the same thing.
It's apparently not. I think the dean is in charge. It's like principal, vice principal. The dean's in charge of like
administrative shit.
Well, no. The headmaster is administrative. The dean is the one that's in charge of like
the actual
punishment and students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, so the headmaster though has the nicer office.
Yeah,
That's why we know Luis is in the headmaster's office, right?
Yeah.
Like, so he goes to they make their way to the headmaster's office. They get there. Billy drops in again. Why is Yogurt's the one who knows more about it, right?
Yeah, shouldn't he have dropped in and Billy being the bigger and stronger of the two could have just
pull him back up,
hoofed him up real quick?
But no, Billy drops in, being the one who doesn't know things about transmitters
or anything. Grabs the little remote control airplane thing.
There he goes, which one? And I love this. They take the classic trope of red wire, blue wire
I wrote
for a
that down
bomb,
too.
And they were like, red transmitter, blue transmitter. And he's like, but there isn't one.
There's no red transmitter in this.
But
there's only a blue one.
But it's the same size as the red one.
That's got to be it.
I was like, this is literally just the fucking wire.
Right, that's what
Could we not have just let them disarm a bomb?
Right.
Why did it have to be this?
Just go ahead and disarm the bomb. Let's go for broke.
Right, but they don't. He switches the parts. We have no idea if it's going to work now. Before we would have known, right? Like that's the beauty here. Before we would have known if it worked. Now we have no idea.
And while he's doing this in the cafeteria, Keith is having his asthma attack. The greatest performance I've seen ever.
The only problem with that though is it causes Jack to have to go to the headmaster's office because he wants to make sure what's wrong
with kid.
Snuffy.
So he's gonna go get his file. Poor Snuffy.
So for a minute though, Billy thinks he's caught.
Yep.
He has to dive under the desk.
Dive under the desk and shit.
Luckily he makes it. Jack gets the file on Snuffy.
Yeah.
He goes back and he's like, no, it says right here. He's got asthma.
We should probably call an ambulance.
We might have to do something if he doesn't get better.
But
then
like,
he notices. He
notices the light changed.
The light turns back on. He's like, okay.
The remote control has tampered with. I can stop doing this.
Well, it's been
I feel a lot better.
Completely fixed. Yeah.
Yeah. Feel a lot better now.
And they're like, oh, okay.
All right, well, as long as you can breathe, I guess. Everybody go back to what they were doing.
So then Billy and Yogurt are on their way back, and this is when the problem comes, right?
Because they even stopped. They're like, wait.
Oh, no, I hear the water.
Oh, wait. I didn't say why. One of the guards comes in the bathroom, and that kid has to leave.
He tries for a minute, like he's going to stay in, but then like the guard keeps like looking over his shoulder, like
why are you watching me pee?
And so finally he's like, all right, I got to turn the water off. Now, at least the kid went and told Ronaldo as soon as he went out of the bathroom. So that way someone else
knew there's a problem.
Billy, though, doesn't know that. He drops Yogurt out. The guard sees
Yogurt washing his hands, right?
This is the part, though, right? If these guards weren't morons, it still wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah.
The guard lets Yogurt come out, looks at Yogurt and says, shh, I want to watch the other guy. He could have literally done anything else. He could have shot Yogurt.
Yep.
He could have yelled for other people.
Yeah.
Something, right?
Viciously grabbed both of them and threw them out the door.
He says, be quiet. Billy gets down. Billy starts to attack. Right when Billy starts to attack, Ronaldo comes from the other way, also attacks.
I want to point out the muzzle of that gun was just stuck in Ronaldo's chest the entire fight. All he had to do was pull the trigger.
Well, again, I said they were dumb.
They're very dumb.
Billy's smart, though, right?
Yeah.
They take out a guy with a gun, and Billy does not decide to go all Joey Trotta and run out of the bathroom and shoot.
No, but he does keep the gun, just in case.
Not yet. No, he takes the next guy's gun. Because he comes out, listen.
Oh, yeah, and
he comes out of the bathroom to do pots and pans duty. He doesn't have a gun then. He'd have gotten shot.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. He's smart.
I skipped a part, my bad.
Yeah, he's smart. He doesn't immediately think, gun, gotta get the gun.
He left it with Yogurt. Yogurt just tucked it up under his shirt.
That's what I wanted. That's the story I believe.
It's Yogurt's gun now.
But so again, you jumped ahead, but you jumped ahead 2 seconds. So he's like, well, now I still need to get everybody to the spot, right? And so the next thing is to clear out the cafeteria and the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so he goes in for pots and pans. He walks in there and the dude goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm on pots and pans. Pots and pans. Dude says it like it's a word, right?
Yeah, like one word.
Pots and pans.
Pots and pans.
What's
pots and pans?
What's pots and pans? You know, pots and pans. And the guy goes, he starts to laugh and turn around as he's laughing. Doesn't even finish laughing. And Billy goes, that's right, pots and pans. Bonk. Cracks him in the head.
Right, knocks him the fuck out.
It's my favorite one. Now Billy grabs a gun.
Now he's got the gun.
He runs out in the cafeteria.
Everybody,
no!
Go this way. We gotta get the fuck out because the assault's on. The choppers are coming. You can hear them in the distance.
Yep. And so at this point, we also get full assault, right?
Yeah.
They've sniped the
people on the roof. They're down, and man,
but one of them gives
the
away
luckiest grenade in the fucking world.
Let's go of a grenade and it explodes. And so as soon as it does, it alerts fucking Luis and everybody else. Luis is like, radio's still down.
Yep.
Explosions. Shit's happening. Helicopters. Fuck.
Jack, get on the roof.
Yep.
Go tell the guys on the roof to shoot down anything and stuff.
But Billy gets everybody into the basement. Thank God.
Yep.
Everybody's safe now. We at least know everybody's safe. Ish. Safer. Now's when we see they're pouring shots of our mouthwash.
Yeah, they
beverage.
give it to the headmaster. They're
He's
like,
just
because he got whipped. They whipped him with the antenna of a fucking radio and just sliced his head open. I was like,
poor dude.
Fuck,
right?
dude.
He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do shit. He was doing exactly what you told him to do.
Right? While that's going on, Billy is still...
He's still upstairs.
He's still out.
He's waiting.
Trying to...
He's got that gun hiding behind the door.
And fucking Luis, though. Luis knew it.
Yeah,
Billy thought he made it. And then Luis
just
cracks him in the face.
Fucking door
and again, Luis doesn't say nothing. He's not like, of fucking course it's you.
He should have.
You know what I mean? Like, he didn't immediately throw out the recognize.
Thorn in my side this whole goddamn time, you fucking asshole.
But so again, at this point, when we say full-on assault, we mean
the
it.
military
now
has
it is
landed.
literally, it looks like full-on Iran-Contra or some shit.
Did you see when the choppers land and they all file out? That one guy in the back fell. He falls when he's running.
Speaking of helicopters, let's talk about what happened to our boy Jack.
Poor Jack.
Jack gets to the roof and he's like, "Oh, our guys are dead." He runs for the rocket launcher. You think he's about to do it. You're like, this man's about to take.
He's gonna shoot one of these out of the sky.
I'm not saying I'm on the terrorist side, but something about Jack, dude, I kind of liked him.
I liked Jack. He was clearly just the guy doing it for money.
Yeah, he's
a mercenary,
right?
You know, he has no like real loyalty to any of this shit. He's just there for the paycheck.
He pulls that RPG out. He's about to shoot. They take him out.
Raises up out from nowhere and just shoots him. Just shoots the fuck out of him. Cuts him in half.
Everybody in the bell tower, they take out the same way. So at this point, literally, it's Luis.
Yep.
Luis has got nobody else.
His last two dudes they sell their own lives dearly in the cafeteria
hall, right? Like they all run out of that hallway where the payphones were, right outside the cafeteria. That's right. And then he makes it to the headmaster's room. He's bolting himself in. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm dead.
We're all screwed. I'm going to hit the button.
I'm going to push the button." Let's cut back to the dean. We forgot to tell everybody when the bomb went off, he was like, "Now's my chance." When the grenade went off from the roof, he was like, "Now's my chance." He runs up, he helps one of the dudes, like one of the assault
guys that got hurt.
Army guys that got hurt, gets him to the edge of the building, and that guy's like, "You're gonna have to go, man.
Take this gun. You're gonna have to shoot him."
And so he's at the same moment that all this is going on, he's climbing up the side of the building, and then we see the headmaster in the headmaster's room. We see Luis. He pushes the button. It worked. Their plan worked.
It does.
The plane
starts flying.
Flies straight into the ceiling.
The roof. Boom, ponk.
He's freaking out and he's like, "No!" And again,
I hated this line from Billy. He shouldn't have said this when he like whips him around and stuff. He's like, "I'm sorry." No, he should have had a smart ass comment like he's had the whole rest of the movie. He should have just been like, "Yeah, fucker, it was me."
I agree.
Instead of just, "I'm sorry." I hated that line. I was like, "Oh, right." But now, end.
Right here though, we see where the part of the plan they had wasn't fully thought out. As he said earlier, all that has to happen is one of the wires be pulled and the whole thing blows up. Right?
So
he's standing right
next
beside
to it.
So he literally starts to dive at it. Luckily, full on assault through the door. Right?
And the teacher coming through the window.
At the same time, Dean Parker comes in through the window.
Dives through it.
No, but Dean Parker didn't need to... If anything, he caused it to slow down from how it naturally would have progressed, right?
Yeah.
Because the dude had already stopped reaching because of the army.
Yeah, they were already coming in because he was shooting at the other door.
And then he lands, and none of his shots land on Luis.
Nope.
Luis is about to shoot him in the head. Luckily, hits him in the heart.
Billy gut checks him.
Whatever, hits him in the heart.
I know, that should have fucking killed him.
Shot
I thought he was dead. I was like, "No, you're dead."
Was full on Dean Parker's heart.
Yeah,
right.
You were dead. There's no surviving that wound right there.
And then the army dude lands the headshot.
There's
on
a sick
Luis.
headshot. That effect was so cool.
It looked great.
Just plack, and he just falls over on top of Billy. He's got blood all over him and shit.
Happy days.
Happy days. We win.
We get two scenes before the movie is fully wrapped, though, right?
Yeah.
We get the conversation between Dean Parker and Billy, where he's like, "Oh, I saved everybody. Isn't that great? I guess that means I'm finally off pots and pans.
You ain't getting out that easy." Please give me an ambulance.
1990s sitcom level fucking joke, right? Outrageous.
Yeah, but then we go outside and then we get the boys reunited. fighting.
Yeah,
right?
and
They're all just
the boys are at first. They
"Where's
find each
Billy?
other.
Where's Billy? Does anybody see Billy?
Billy didn't make it.
They see the ambulance going. They're like, oh shit. They're like trying to look in the window.
And then Billy comes running.
Guys,
It's me.
big hugs.
And
They're
then
all dancing around, pan
right?
out.
We zoom out, fade to black.
That's it. That's the movie.
What'd you think, man?
I loved this. It was awesome.
It's a good movie, dude. Again, this is one of those movies I owned on VHS. I never saw it anywhere else. Like, if I didn't own this movie, I wouldn't have seen it.
Nope, never heard of it until you said something about it. And I'm like, that sounds like my kind of fucking movie.
It is
I honestly
amazing.
thought it was going to be more of a comedy than it ended up being.
And it's not.
It's not.
There are a lot of funny lines.
funny bits and things, but it's not a comedy.
It is definitely full-on action.
Yeah, it is an action movie.
It is definitely in the vein of Red Dawn, like I said earlier.
Oh, yeah, no.
This might as well be like Red Dawn 2.
It's
right?
Red Dawn 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Right? It could be, literally. It's like, I mean...
It's good. I like it.
Obviously, we know, you guys know, things are a little bit different this week. This isn't like a beer where we're going to give you a little bit of a review.
No, it's just...
Now, that being said, we've had a few of these dispenser cups. It's minty.
It is very minty.
The further you go, the less the mint kind of
Bothers
stops
you?
you in the tracks. Like the first one.
You know what I would do with this? Over ice during Christmas.
Yeah.
This would be the drink. Serve like a put a red cherry in it just to give it like the green and red.
Oh man, boom.
Ooh,
There you go.
grenadine. Float grenadine on top of it.
There you go.
That'd probably be fantastic. But yeah, other than that, I wouldn't.
But other than for novelty,
Yeah.
unless you were doing this with us, unless you're going to re-listen to the
Yeah,
episode
and do
because
this
you want
with us.
or go watch the movie and do this while you're watching the movie.
Get a friend. You and a friend watch the movie and then go do this. Get you a scope bottle and all that shit. Fuck yeah, it's good times.
Outside of that,
No, I wouldn't do it.
this isn't a drink you're just making for yourself.
No. But you can find uses for it. It's not terrible. Still not the worst thing we've drank on this show.
Definitely not. All right, Bo. What are we going to do next time, though?
Well, you know what? We had all those schnapps left over. Just thought we'd do something a little schnappy.
All right. So you guys know. That's it. The clue next time, just more peppermint schnapps.
Peppermint schnapps.
We had so much left over. We needed to use it for something.
Yeah, we had to use it for something.
Again, this is another obscure one. I'm going to throw that out there. This next one is definitely the same level of obscure, I think, as Spirit of 76 is. It's the kind of thing where, I don't know.
It's another good one.
It's another hidden gem for sure. All right. I think we're done.
All right, cool. You swear this isn't mouthwash?
Pots and pans.